What is happening, everyone? My name is Ronan Fox. This is the Republic of Players podcast, episode 81. It is the Game of the Year edition. I'm very excited to be here
Tarkov
with the crew. Paddy Toner, his favourite game of the year is Tarkov. It's mine also. End of the show. Let's get out of here. What's happening, Paddy?
Not so bad. How are you?
Really good, dude. Really good. Glad to be doing the show. Actually, I had a hectic week, so I'm glad to be just chilling out with you guys and talking about Game of the Year.
2020 is nearly over.
Yeah.
2020.
Oh yeah, this year is insane. It started off with the lockdowns and stuff. Started off, I thought it was really slow, and then it just exponentially just sped up, and we got more used to it. I think.
Yeah,
it's the fastest and slowest year of all time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is. Mr. John Fogarty speaking. What's happening, buddy? How are you keeping?
Not too bad. Passed my first exam on that course I'm doing.
Well done.
On Tuesday.
Good stuff.
So next up is Networks Fundamentals. So that'll be fun. Literally a lot of ones and zeros. So that'll be fun. Other than that, just been playing, one game in particular. And so it's been going grand.
Yeah, we'll get on to that in a couple of moments. Aidan McCallion, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. I have 3 days left of work and I'm off, and that makes me pretty happy.
Sweet. So you're off Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I'm choosing my last day, and then
Nice.
I'll go off to the 4th.
Off for 2 weeks or 4th? Nice.
Yeah.
It is. Pat Curley grew a beard overnight. What's happening, Pat?
What? Where did that come? I've had this beard all year, I'll tell you that.
It seems to have
He
filled
just
out
got
over the
long-
week, Pat.
I think because he
Exponential
played,
growth in the past 7
because he
days.
played Assassin's Creed, he's like, nah, I'm growing this thing.
Yeah.
We're going
I'm a
Viking
Viking
town.
now.
How you
Okay,
doing?
maybe I was a little lazy and it says grown out. I'm doing great, I can't complain. Well, I could, but I highly doubt you just want to listen to me complaining. But
It's a different podcast.
yeah, things are grand, different.
Good stuff. We're going to get on to...
Things are grand, yeah.
Good to hear. I'm doing good as well. I had an interview last Friday. Hopefully I'm going to get word tomorrow whether I get it. And I mean, if I
Working
can...
in the porn industry now.
Exactly, yeah, it's going to be great.
Some
actually,
lang around.
scrap that. Not with the industry I'm in. So I'm going for a permanent role in the company that I've been working for the last year and a half. A kind of a step up, I suppose, from the position that I'm in. And it would be, a really good way to end a tough year. So I'll know tomorrow. I'll let everyone know how we get on. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, it wasn't.
You
meant
won't
to
hear
be.
anything.
Yeah. You won't hear anything off me for
You
a
won't
while.
hear a word.
So we're going to get into the what we're playing section. Paddy Toner, what have you been playing?
Last week we were playing some, what did we play? Cyberpunk 2077.
So-
I didn't play it most. I played it the first couple of nights and I haven't played it since, but it is a good game. Glitchy. We all know it's glitchy. It's on PlayStation 4 I'm playing as well, so it's the worst one. But I think the game itself is going to be epic, and I'm looking forward to when it's fixed properly. There is a lot of walking up and the face just disappearing. Have you seen that at all?
That happens on PC, dude. Like textures just pop in out of nowhere as
I
well.
thought that was
Yeah.
part of the game design.
Yeah, it is.
It's a
Nobody
feature, not a
here.
bug.
Are they not like meant to be invisible? Is it not some tech that they have that they're invisible
No,
one
I
minute
don't
and they're
think
the
so.
next? Well, that's
I
what
don't
I'm
think so.
doing. That's what I'm taking.
Exactly.
That's getting me through.
I think weird that happens. Like, it's the future. It's a weird place.
Yeah. They have like invisible camo on. They just appear when you get within the proximity.
It's definitely got a lot of shit this week. A lot of people trying to refund it, and a lot of people are going nuts. The same people that are probably like, get it out now, you've had too long, and then it comes out and goes, shouldn't have took it out. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? As Pat was kind of saying during the week that they didn't release codes for the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox, and that's the only thing I can go against them. Like, they should have done that. They shouldn't be lying to people. That's not right. But I probably would have bought it anyway, to be honest. Even if I knew I had the information now, because I'm looking forward to playing it and get through it. If I do get to a point where it's broken, that's going to piss me off. But as long as I'm able to play it and keep going, I'd be happy enough.
Yeah, so it has got, there has been a lot of hate about the game. I know some
Yeah.
people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
John, you were saying you were enjoying it as well. I've
Yeah,
played a bit of it.
Yeah.
I haven't kind of put an awful lot of time into it, and I have played it on both the PS4 and the PS5. I don't know whether it's through updates, but It still, like, even on the PS5, I still got a crash to a blue screen. I had to reset the console, and then there was a massive update, and that seemed to fix, definitely the crashes anyway. I'm still getting the popping characters, and I will say that the level of detail in where you're kind of going through a main mission and you're meeting with characters on a main mission and you're going into, certain areas of the map, I feel like the level of detail is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I do find the consistency across the map, up and down in terms of driving along the street and getting out of the car and looking around, the textures can be a little bit inconsistent to the main story part. But I'm having a good time with it. I'm not going to give a full opinion on it because I haven't really played it that much yet. I will say the gunplay in it doesn't really do much for me. I am playing it on controller, and the whole bullet spongy enemies wouldn't be really my cup of tea, but that's kind of what you get with an RPG, so I can accept that.
Playing Tarkov.
Yeah, well, it's that as well. Yeah, probably that as well. But even the hacking in it, I'm not big on. When you hack something and it's just like that loading ticker. I thought there could have been a little bit more to hacking in the game. But look, that's me. With
I do think it takes a lot. I think it takes a lot to kill enemies in it. A lot of the time. What I like about the game as well, it feels very 3D or something. You can really embrace their environment in the game. It feels like everyone's very blocky, but in a good way. Do you know what I mean? Feel like you can feel the futuristic part of it. All the cars, all the textures, everything's very kind of blocky, but as I said, in a good way.
Yeah.
I think it's bringing. You can see the next generation of graphics coming through and the way they're going to go about it. But as I said, I think people should need to give the game a bit of time to develop, because I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to go down as a very, very good game in the future. It's just not at that point right now.
How many hours are you in?
I'd say I've done about 11 or 12 maybe altogether. And it gets a good bit into it.
Yeah.
And it's enjoyable. I think the story is brilliant. I think the way it's going to be. I'm actually not playing. I'm playing, what did I say the faction was? Corpo. I'm playing Corpo, which is not the main one that they play. That's not the main one, but it's very good. The story itself is amazing. Like you start off, what is it? Your man gets kicked out of Corpo, and then he becomes like a villain, I suppose. And it's just very good. It's enjoyable. I'm looking forward to going through them all.
Yeah, same as that. I went Street Kid.
Anyone found the talking gun yet?
Not yet, no.
That sounds interesting.
I saw a video of it. It looks amazing.
How good is Keanu Reeves as well in it? Like he just brings his character out so brilliantly. He's very well done. Very well done.
I haven't met him now in the game. I went with Street Kid and kind of really liked the start of it.
It takes a bit to get into it.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck in the middle of the city as a street kid. And then like you, I'm kind of interested in going nomad and working my way from outside of the city. And I just want to see, like, is there a massive difference in the story?
I was going to say, I'm wondering that too, because I'm not entirely sure. Because from what I'm seeing, I think it might be just kind of that starting thing. Your starting is what's different, and then I think you could basically get streamlined into the same story as everybody else, and then you change your story relevant to what you do in the game. It's
hard to talk about because you don't want to give it away either. Because
there's also extra vocal lines and things like that to change conversation.
Yes, there is. Yeah,
like, I can say what's happened already to me if he's want, but I don't want to spoil it for you either.
Please don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's fair enough.
Yeah, because people have probably started one character and looking forward to playing.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see if they actually do all are the same. We're all like sitting here going, we know exactly what happened. So we just have to wait.
But that's definitely one of the interesting parts about the game. I'm definitely going to put a lot of time into it over the Christmas holidays. I think even a 3-week block to get the updates, to get the bug fixes in, like, a lot can happen when the game is released because there's so much feedback coming in for the developers to look at what bugs, because of the reporting system on Sony as well. I'm sure they're getting lots of information, and I do wish them, the best. But as Paddy kind of said at the start about the whole, do a review but don't show any gameplay, like, that was a really bad move if you ask me. And I know, like, if there was gameplay shown, you would have seen the pops and that, but at least there would have been some honesty there, rather than, you're going to find out anyway. You know what I mean? So
and also, like you were saying, that patch that happened the second day, that you said, and I was the same with me, Ronan, because my game, the performance and everything performed way better after that patch that was on the second day. But that version that they had, that they said don't release video for, and the release that was out the first day, was god awful. Okay. That first patch did a lot of work.
There's like the PS4 looks fucking shit. Like there's the compared to like what I've watched videos on lads playing it on like a 3090 or something. I know that's massive differences, but like it looks like night and day.
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I
RTX
mean?
on all
Yeah,
that
like
stuff.
it
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
night and day. And like on the PlayStation 4, it's dark. It's very hard to see things. You're driving, it's horrible. I know and like it just shows the difference in power. The PlayStation 4 is like Nintendo
Years old.
64 at this stage compared. Do you know what I mean? Compared to that,
I'm playing on PS5 and I'm very, very impressed with the PS5.
Well, that's a completely different freaking standard, obviously.
Very impressed.
I'm playing it on PC now. I'm only not only, but I'm playing it on 1080p, 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
And I actually like locked it at 60 frames per second, and I'm playing it on the big TV, which is like it's like 60 hertz, freaking 4K, but I'm still playing on 1080p because it's all my poor old computer can handle.
Yeah.
But it runs really, really well. Like it actually, especially after that day one patch, it runs. There she is. It runs like it runs absolutely like butter. My main issues with the game are some of the glitches. Like I'm getting some very bad glitches. I got one very bad one where and I looked it up, and it is a game-breaking glitch. It's basically it's so weird. It's
Jamie.
You have like you have a side mission that you're doing for a character, and when you start the mission, she says, "Okay, here's the mission. Go and do it." And then when you finish it, she goes, "Well done. Here's your payment." Now those phone calls are out of sync. So when I start a new mission, she says, "Well done for doing the last mission." And when I finish that mission, she says, "Now you need to start this next mission." She's like a dialogue tree out of sync. And I've looked it up, and apparently to finish all her quest lines, this might be slightly not game breaking because they're only side missions, but it might be slightly storyline breaking, this glitch. So hopefully they patch that.
I'm very much I never do side missions in any game. I'm always like,
but side missions in this game are important. Side missions in this game change the story. They even came out and said that if you do the side missions in a certain way, I think it's actually the main way of changing the story from just a generic way is doing the side missions. They said there's actually certain scenarios where you won't get through 100% of the game. It'll end with like still a bit of story left, but what you've decided to do in the side missions, your story is over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Ruined the game for me.
You don't need to do side missions. It's just that's the best way to change what happens in your story.
I've never really liked that with games. I usually just do the main story and get through it. Like
I always do side missions in games like that, and I think that's where the fatigue is starting to get in with big open world games with a billion side missions.
Flash it all, it's not powerful.
I always feel like I need to do the side missions, and I think that's where the fatigue is coming in.
I think I'm you 2 years from now, John. About 2 years ago, I was like, I keep trying to do all these side missions and then never finishing the game. And then I kind of stopped, and now I enjoy. I think I
look at Ghost. Yeah, I need to do that. Look at Ghost of Tsushima. That's what killed me. I petted too many foxes.
I think the best way for me anyway, to play them is just natural kind of progression. If there's a story or side quest that, beside you, just go and do that.
Yeah.
And then kind of continue on the main mission. And the reason why I do that is because in an open world game like that, and I'm going to speak about another open world game that I've been playing and it's just blown me away, to be honest. But in a game,
I know what you're talking about. Great.
I think I've always followed the main mission because I feel like if I go off and do side missions, it breaks the story. And then there's that pacing issue with I actually don't know where I am in the main story, and plus I don't care because I'm killing this and killing that in the side mission.
I do think that side missions take away from games sometimes.
It depends on the game. It depends on the game though, because some games, most of them are busy work. Some games it's like, oh, I've got the package, deliver to
get 10 pellets.
My daughter's missing or something.
But the side missions in Cyberpunk, there's two different calibers of side missions. There's the ones where it's like stop the pursuit from happening, help the investigation, blah blah blah. They're like the really generic ones. And then there's the yellow exclamation marks, which like have a storyline and like are actually interesting. And I do like those side missions, but there are the generic ones as well, the blue exclamation marks, which are like basically go in and kill these people.
I do like if you're saying it's mixed in with the game, that's brilliant. Just not ones that are like completely nothing to do with anything. It's just
there's definitely a few of them as well. But it's the thing what you were saying as well, Roland, and I do agree with you. But the thing was like some of these games, and I think one of the worst culprits for it, in my opinion, was Assassin's Creed Unity. Whereas you said you only do ones that are in your vicinity, that are near your mission. It's the same as Cyberpunk a bit. You look on your map, there's your mission. There's at least 8 side missions dotted around directly around your mission. So like there are so many side missions just to do in your your immediate area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game that I've been playing, and to be honest with you, if it was released this year, it would be my game of the year. Honestly, it's been the most fun I had in a single player game in a very, very long time. It's and John talked about this a little bit previously. Is Days Gone. Days Gone
Fantastic
is
game.
a very, very well polished game. It's just everything seems to work, really nice.
Polished now because it wasn't polished when it came out.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't, and that's why I think it is a really good time. I think it's a really good time to play it now. It's free on the PS5 with the PS Now collection. I downloaded it. I wasn't expecting much.
Do you not think the hordes are a bit much?
No, definitely not.
I don't really.
I'm playing it on hard, and when you see a horde, you do exactly what you do in real life. You run the opposite way or drive the opposite way. And I feel like knowing that I could go over a hill at any time and there's a horde there waiting for me, I think that adds to the atmosphere of the game.
I must give it a go again because when it came out, I wasn't impressed. It was in bits when it came out. It wasn't great.
It was awful when it came out because I played it for the first month, and how you're saying like hordes could be anywhere. Like they could literally just pop into existence right around you and kill you. No, that's the sort of glitches that were happening.
It's probably the best polished game that I've played.
It must be very long definitely,
time.
Definitely got very, very polished because it was off.
And I'm sure they've changed mechanics of even the driving in it, because I really like driving around on my motorcycle and upgrading it, and going from camp to camp. You're a drifter called Deacon St. John, and what he does is he goes from camp to camp, bringing supplies and doing missions per camp. And I like it because it's open world, but the world isn't massive, and you feel like you can traverse it fairly quickly, and you're getting through the main missions fairly quickly. You can do side missions if you want, but I'm really just doing the main quest. And there's the usual kind of missions where you're sneaking around an enemy base and you're gathering intel. But I feel like it changes it up and keeps it kind of the varied missions enough that just keeps it really interesting. Honest to God, I'm loving it at the moment. I would recommend anyone that played it when it first came out to go back and play it. It's a brilliant game.
I do like zombie games.
I really, really like that game as well. And maybe I'm getting old.
Out of curiosity, what did you...
Sorry, Pat.
Just out of curiosity, what did you play it on?
PS5.
PS5. See, this is the thing with this game now, because when it came out in PS4 Pro, it apparently worked pretty well. And I know my friend played it recently on his normal standard PS4, and he was still getting the same issues that I was getting.
Yeah.
So that's sort of...
I played it on a day one PS4, and I didn't really have too many issues.
Did you not?
No.
It was definitely glitchy.
No, not day one. Not day one when the game came out. I'm saying recently, but that's what he's saying.
Sorry, that's what I thought you meant.
He's saying that.
It's like, you lucky bastard.
No, I've played about 15, 20 hours, and I've got zero glitches, and everything in it just
the PS5 is going to be next gen. It's obviously going to be
well, it's just going to fix the loading times and stuff, really. It's not going to fix the bugs.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But it's going to play better.
And it looks fantastic.
But what I was saying was, maybe I'm getting old, but the one thing I'll say about that game, which I seem to be saying a lot about games recently, is that I thought it went on a bit too long. I thought it was a bit long, and I thought the story could have been...
Games do that a lot these days.
It could have been like 5 hours shorter, honestly.
Okay, nice.
I think a lot of people...
I still very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
I agree with John on that there, so I do. It's very long game, and where you think it's going to end, it doesn't. And then there's like the extra sort of bit at the end, if John knows what I'm talking about.
Loads of games do that.
Really
100%.
feels like it shouldn't be there at all. And this is like, okay, maybe this should have been for a second game, not this game here.
Like Red Dead.
It just felt really out of place.
Exactly, Paddy. It feels like it ends at one stage and then it kind of keeps going. I agree with that.
Red Dead definitely did that because it was all completely different. It's like the story's over, but here's what do they call it? What's the end of it called?
Epilogue. Aidan, what have you been playing?
This week I've mostly been playing Destiny 2 still. Back at that in a big way. I've been playing Destiny for 5 years, and this is the first year I've finally sort of got people together and started trying to do raids and stuff.
Nice.
There they are. There's the squad. Get off that podcast and come and play some Destiny.
We did the newest raid from the newest expansion, and it was unbelievable. You start off being launched into a spaceship, and then you do a spacewalk around the outskirts of the spaceship while this incredible music plays, and then you crash the spaceship into Earth, and then the villain comes out and tries to blow everything up with nukes, and you have to stop him.
Don't they always try that, don't they? They're always
nukes,
that the villains.
always nukes. But yeah, unbelievable. The encounter design they do for these raids is just excellent. Real interesting, like 6-man, everyone has their role, and you have to get it, like, you have to get everything down perfectly.
Yeah, they got really interesting with the raids at one stage. I remember, like, stand on this platform while your friend goes over the far side of the room and clicks it's still that kind of style, is it?
Yeah, well, there's one of them in this where half the team are up in space and half the team are on the ground, and you're trying to fight 8 clones of the one person, and you have to pass around an item that lets you see which one you can damage at a time. And once you damage him, he tries to infect you with nanomachines, and you have to go up to the space station and then shoot the nanomachines outside the airlock to make sure you don't get infected. It's just some real interesting mechanics. It's excellent game design. If
Awesome.
you've never played a Destiny raid, I would highly recommend it.
It's free on everything now, surely, isn't it?
Yeah, the entire game and all the expansions is free on Game Pass.
Nice.
Is that what
Got
you're
Game
playing
Pass
on
already.
PC, is it?
I'm playing. I bought it on PC, and I'm also playing on Xbox. I started playing on Xbox with the Series S. It got upgraded. It's now runs to 60. It looks real nice.
Is
and
it
that's
crossplay
why-
now, no?
No, crossplay is coming later in 2021.
Nice,
It's cross
nice.
save.
Oh, it's cross save.
Nice.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of what I meant. Yeah, that's
Yes.
nice and handy.
They're introducing full crossplay later next year, and I cannot wait.
Is it very easy? Is it just you play on the PC, it'll save to the cloud, and then you start up on the same profile and you just load from there?
Yep.
Nice. I like that. Are
Yeah, that's excellent.
you playing anything else?
I started Forza Horizon 4.
Oh, what a game.
What a game! That game is incredible.
Yes, it's one of the best games ever.
It's So yeah, I'm
What are you driving?
all Lancias.
Oh, nice.
Trying to play as much of the game just driving Lancias as
Yeah,
possible.
cool. Good choice.
The 037, the Delta. are my
Yeah,
two
yeah, it's actually one of my favorite
A
cars in the
B-class
game.
Cars.
Unbelievable.
Just it looks incredible. It plays incredible.
That opening
Actually-
opening section is ridiculous, isn't it? You get
Yeah,
the
with
jets
the-
flying over. You're like,
yeah.
this is way too cool.
You in the Bugatti or
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's Bugatti.
Ford
yeah.
Fiesta as well, I think.
Yes, I have the Elite controller and put the paddles on, which makes for really good for your
Lifting.
gears. Like it feels real cool to play with the paddles for gears.
What are
Just,
you
yeah.
using? Paddles for gears? What
I
do you
have
mean, on the
Xbox
controller?
Elite. I have the Elite controller, so it's
All
the
right,
back paddle,
nice.
and you can set them to be B and X, so you can use them as like a flappy paddle gearbox.
Awesome.
And that feels excellent.
Class. Yeah,
um,
nice.
Yeah, just one of that is a polished game.
Yeah, yeah. Are you like, would you be into any sort of kind of track racing, Aidan, or would
I'm
kind of-
also playing Forza Horizon or Forza 7, Motorsport 7 as well.
what do you think of that?
I've loved all the Forza games.
Yeah, 7 is probably my favorite now. Like I love
It's a-
Horizon. It's kind of more fun. It's good to get on with friends. But if you want like a full on sim track racing game, it's hard to beat
Yeah.
Forza 7.
I've been trying to get lap times down and then
Yeah.
Mark 1 Escort on the Forza 7. I love that game.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. We'll definitely play it sometime actually, because I'm always jumping onto that
I
game.
see that there's been a couple of community events recently happening with the
Oh, they're
Republic.
doing on Friday night, I think.
Yeah.
They'll play.
I mean,
yeah,
on the Republic.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're Xbox boys.
Yeah.
mostly.
Sweet.
Well,
Yeah, it's.
they
I
should
mean,
do
it's.
some-
They've,
Forza.
they've rised up. They're like, we're going to do some extra stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's your PlayStation. They've risen out of the dust.
Sorry about that. I got a flick up on the screen, but it's gone now. So yeah, Forza is brilliant. Pat, what have you been playing?
Haven't really been playing too much, so I haven't been more sort of writing and editing. But
Nice.
what I did play for a wee while was River City Girls, which is a sort of beat 'em up in the style of Streets of Rage, so it would be. And quite a fun little game, so it is. Like the concept can be pretty cool if you can get going. And
It's the one that
I
you
say
said
it
is
would be
better
fun
than
if
God of War.
no, I was talking about a different game altogether, so I was.
Okay.
But I always talk that was Iconoclast.
All right.
That's another game that's really, 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 really good. But no, River City Gears is what I was playing.
Nice.
And yeah, it's it's just really a relaxing game. I think it's simple. You have easy enough controls to understand, and you're just having fun beating up every single person you come across in the city. So normal
Big
day
bully, yeah.
stuff.
Side scroller, open world. What we talking here?
Side scrolling. There's like you
Not
have
online
areas.
anyway.
I'm not sure if it's actually online, but like I wouldn't play beat 'em up online. If I was to play it with someone, I'd play it with them sitting beside me. You just need to find those people that you can play those games with, though. But I can't because I'm a lonely little man. But
You have us,
You're not
Pat.
that little.
little
No.
inside, no, it is a brilliant game. It has charm to it as well, with a very funny story. I think it has quite a few laughs out of me. But yeah, that's really just what I've been playing. Nothing too much.
I actually turned on Tarkov today after I did my exam, and I did a game. I went in to interchange, and I started killing. I killed a PMC, killed 3 scabs, turned the corner, kill it right there, shoot me right in the head. That was the end of that.
Uninstalled
Do
again.
that.
Turned it back off. Back off, Tarkov.
Speaking of Tarkov, actually, really quickly, I saw a tweet today. Did you see that Bitcoins are going
Yeah.
for retailers to like 30
Yeah.
grand now?
You shouldn't be saying that, John, because they're going to
Oh, shut.
dip in price. Some guy on Twitter thought he was a big man saying, "Oh, they're 300 grand now." People were like, "What are you doing? You're gonna ruin the market."
What were they? 175 before?
About the 160s that time. I think I saw.
they were kind of going up and up. They were at 200,
They-
but now they're just
They
gone.
go with the real market, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Point is, yeah.
But that makes sense because there's probably less people playing because probably people waiting for the wipe now, so less of them are being made and put up on the market.
It's
I
the
honestly-
most expensive they've ever been.
I honestly got to the point in the game where Bitcoins were flying in, everyone was flying in, and it's like, nope, don't want to play now.
Yeah.
Next wipe.
Definitely the build, the
build.
building part of the game is the
That's the
enjoyable
way.
part.
That's the main thing, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
what you want. But that's kind of the hard part, is what they're going to do when the game comes out fully. Like, what way is it going? You're going to keep people on board,
People don't know.
doing seasons or something, maybe. Something.
I'd be very open minded to what that game will end up being. To be honest, I don't think
Yeah, 'cause
it's
you know,
going to
I
be
don't
the
think they
way.
know.
They're-
I
No,
don't
they
think they
don't.
know.
They don't. Like, they're living it up. Like, I mean, they're getting
keep it like
massive
this.
players
We love
every
Game is
wipe.
unreal. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Oh,
your
yeah.
game is fucking class.
They're not going to
It's
change
just-
it too much anyway. They're not going to change that feeling of getting in, getting out. Like, it's the name of the game. Like, do you know what I mean?
But I do think it is the building part that is the exciting part of that game.
100%.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
when you get to a certain point where it's too the missions get too hard.
Yeah.
And they do. And then, like, you have enough money to go around. I think what the next season, I think we should really focus on team, or going in as a team and trying to learn better to develop,
yeah.
because that's, I think, we're lacking. But we'll do it. We'll see next. I just love the game. There's so much detail in that game. It's unbelievable.
Top class. John, what have you been playing?
Well, to be honest with you, the main thing I've been playing was Cyberpunk. We've pretty much covered that, but I will just say really quickly, I am very much enjoying it. I have it on PC, so it's like it's running better than it is on, say, the PS4 and the Xbox One anyway. It's going great. Again, I was talking about I have that one not game breaking glitch, but annoying glitch. That's kind of brought it down slightly in my estimation, just because it's really, really annoying. And like, I don't mind glitches because, again, you're coming from a guy whose one of his favorite games is Fallout New Vegas. I can handle a glitch. It's just when it's persistent and also affects progression, that's when I get a little bit annoyed. A floating car, that's funny. You know what I mean? I don't mind that stuff.
There's meant to be floating cars in Cyberpunk.
Well,
though.
that's
Just
true.
take it
Okay,
as
that was
it's
a
meant
bad
to be
example.
there. Meant to be there.
It's true.
Visible guys that can
We're
appear
going,
within
we
the
don't need
proximity
roads.
and flying
Exactly.
cars. It's all meant to be there, John.
But like, as pretty much as you were touching on, I just love. Oh, actually, very quickly, the soundtrack. The soundtrack is amazing in it. It's
is.
great.
The soundtrack is brilliant.
Yeah, I love listening to all the songs, especially when you're in the car and stuff. But even just like
Get taken off Twitch.
Exactly. That's why I don't play it. I only played it once on Twitch. Listen, when I played it on Twitch, I didn't censor anything, and I showed his wang, so I'm already in trouble. It's very fun. I'm enjoying it so far. I need to get back into the story because I got a bit bogged down with side missions. That's like me with every freaking game with a mini side missions. And yeah, we pretty much covered it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. Probably close to being the best game I played this year, but I don't think I can put it there because number one, I haven't played enough of it, and number two, even on PC, it's still very buggy, very buggy.
Go on, John.
If you're looking to buy a game,
it's the second best game we played this year.
if you're looking to buy a game,
arguably.
to keep it sealed, don't buy it in Smith's because they put a fucking tag on it now. I hate that shit.
So we are going to move on to news, guys. We have a little bit of news to get through, and then we're going to go on to our topic of the week, which we'll spend a little bit of time on talking about our game of the year nominees.
Get a cup of tea. Get a cup of tea.
Get a cup of tea. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to discuss, some of us have played the game, some of us have not played the games. We're going to discuss each game individually and where it is placed in our, game of the year list. And also we're going to look to the community's game of the year list on the votes that came in. We had a vote this week on the community. A lot of people got involved, and there was one outright winner, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Do you know where your child is?
Going through the first piece of news here, Twitch is banning a handful of words. So Twitch are banning 3 new words from being used on their platform. Those words are simp, incel, and virgin. These words can no longer be used in the form
You just got
of an
demonetized.
insult
Thanks very much, Roland.
on Twitch. Surely you're allowed to use those words in a
Virgin.
sentence.
Yeah, in an explanatory fashion.
Simp, I'm not. I was never a fan of that word anyway. But I mean, so I don't know. Come on,
I don't get. Is simp a thing when you're talking to people in the channel that call them simps, or you calling the people that are twitching?
Usually the people in the chat are the simps.
Are the simps, yeah.
A simp would be the kind of person who would give, we'll say, male or female streamer, because there could be female simps out there too. It's not.
Don't you lie, John.
It's not the norm. But we'll say it's when someone would basically give a streamer €100 a day.
Yeah, they give some long-legged beauty 100 quid.
And say stuff like, I love you.
Like
and
myself.
It's all worth it for them because they go, oh, thank you for the sub, or oh, thank you for the donation. And that's enough for them.
Did you see
That's
that someone put up in the community during the week, a tweet, and it showed a person saying, one of my Twitch streamers gave me a 3090 graphics cards. And it's like, one of your subs. That's what you called him. One of your subs.
he gives you all this and all he gets is one of your subs. He didn't even name him. Yeah, I saw that tweet. That's brilliant.
Horrible.
Yeah, that's the pinnacle definition of a simp. Yes.
I don't like the word either.
Neither do I. I'm just giving you what it means.
I would have no problem if it disappeared, to be fair.
No, definitely not. I think it's one that I won't remember.
Can't say virgin.
Virgin's a weird one because, like, what if you're playing a game that has
What was the
to do with
third
virgin
one?
media?
They're
But
only
like, you
they're
have
only
to-
banning
you
them
have
in
to-
an insulting fashion.
Yeah, you have to look at the article says that it's only an insult.
Yeah,
You can use the word like to describe what it is or whatever.
What's
Use
the
it.
third word?
incel.
So,
Insult.
What the fuck is that?
An incel is a guy who basically
He should be banned out of the dictionary, let alone the Twitch.
yeah.
women are evil. Like relationships are a scam. Basically,
I've never heard that word before in my life.
Basically,
life.
a man who hates women, hates relationships. And
Insult.
Incel.
Incel.
Celibate.
Is it English?
It's short for involuntary celibate.
Yeah,
My God, lads, what
Never
are
heard
we
of it in my
dealing
life.
with here?
it's basically
It must be said a lot though if it's getting banned.
It was huge last year because a load of people that were
Not down with the cool kids. It's official.
But like the trendy stuff when we were growing up were Pogs and Pokemon. Like the kids are just going after words these days.
Pogs back in fashion.
Pog is definitely back in
Good.
fashion. Poggers.
Bring them back.
Poggers.
I want to see
Oh,
Pogs.
there was some when we grew up. There was some words and stuff that you do say that you would be just like you'd be joking around. But if you did it
Mullingar
now-
slang though.
if you did it nowadays, you'd be fet. And like I wouldn't do
Oh,
it
yeah.
anymore either.
Oh,
But, like,
yeah.
when you're younger, it was like yourself what was said like you're this, you're that. Every time you did
Yeah.
anything wrong, you're this,
100%.
you're this, and it's like that's the word I'm talking about.
it's
That's
rural
that,
Ireland.
That's that.
But
Yeah,
that's
that's
kids
it.
as well. That's
Yeah.
kids as well. They
Like
don't
I wouldn't
know,
do it anymore. But
they don't know the severity of the word, and they're just saying it because they
it was just a
want,
thing.
they
wasn't
want
it?
a
You didn't-
reaction.
It was just a thing. I think when you're younger.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'm no saint, especially when I was in the freaking tech when I was in secondary school.
Oh, he's messing around.
Yeah, 100%. I was. If I said some of the stuff I used to say back then, I'd be cancelled. But like, that's a part of growing up.
Cancelled.
You understand
Cancel
that you
culture.
can't say these things, and you understand why you can't say these things. That's just a part of developing as a human being,
Yes, sir.
like ethically and physically.
Yeah.
I'm developing as a human being. I don't know why I said that physically. That was kind of weird.
I'm developing.
You're not allowed to say that anymore, John. That's banned from this
You're not going to say you're
podcast.
developing, John.
The next piece of news, and it's way more interesting than.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Ronan, very
go on,
quickly.
let's continue.
There was one more that happened. It was about a week or two ago. They
You
removed
developed even more.
the term blind playthrough from Twitch because it's ableist. Even though that
Christ.
word is descriptive, it doesn't
I
actually
think-
necessarily have to mean that you are physically blind.
Can we just
I
move
am
on
f-
from this subject, please?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
virtual signaling at the highest order.
That's
Yeah, I
just
hate that stuff
unbelievable
too.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
In your jammies, you like them. Don't look down because you just don't want to see down there. I'm wearing shorts. No, I don't.
little tongue going on there.
I have legs on me like David Beckham's. Bend it like Beckham. Anyway.
EA, speaking of bending it, EA are throwing their hand in for Codemasters. EA are set to acquire Codemasters for $1.2 billion. Codemasters are the minds behind the latest F1 games and Dirt series. Will Codemasters maybe get a crack at the end for at the Need for Speed series, or will they simply continue to work on the series in their portfolio?
Did they actually purchase it?
No, not
Not yet.
not as of yet, but it's just about a done deal. Like this
Yeah.
money is kind of a little bit crazy to turn down. Going from somebody that plays both Codemaster games and EA games, I think this is just a win-win on all fronts. I think what's going to happen is Codemaster going to work like Respawn. They're going to come in and EA are going to publish their games, and they're just going to let Codemaster continue to do what they do. They've ran like the racing series for a very long time, in particular the rally games and the F1 series as well. People, and I made a funny meme there last day. I was a little bit afraid to put it up in the community because people don't like EA in the community, and I think a lot of people kind of, have good reason, but also people just like to give out as well. So basically, Codemasters, any of their games, if you play them, Dirt Rally 2, F1 2019 and 2020, they are riddled with microtransactions. There is a goddamn season pass called the Podium Pass in F1 2020. So anyone that thinks this is going to be, EA are going to put loads of microtransactions in the games and it's going to ruin them, they're in
That's
there
why
already.
they're buying them, because they're already in there.
They're already there, ready to rock. So that excuse is it can't be used. So I think it's a win-win situation. I think you're going to see the servers get better on the F1 games. Paddy knows about how difficult the servers can be from doing the TROP Championship Series. And I've seen it as well, like, by playing it, and I love the Codemaster games, but I just think that these are gonna, EA are gonna polish the games up that I like, and they do make games that I don't play, like the Dirt series. So Dirt 5 was released recently. It's a more arcadey game. People still love that game, so I think it's a really nice fit for both companies. And 1.2 million is an offer that Codemaster definitely not going to turn down.
Yeah, was it some company, Take-Two offered them 700 million?
Yeah, and EA came in after them.
Yeah. I agree with you on a lot of things, Ronan. I think having this level of a driving game developer on their portfolio is a really good idea.
Yeah.
I hope that this can somehow lead to them bringing back Burnout. That's kind of all I want out of racing games. I want a new Burnout game so bad. But I think a lot of the fear is that if things don't go well, that Codemasters could end up in the EA graveyard. That's what a lot of people will be scared of. I don't think it'll happen. I think they're too big to fail.
For 1.2 billion.
Yeah, exactly. They're too big. But
Yeah,
that's a lot.
I think the
lot of
F1 game is
fear.
very good. Like, to be honest, it is a bit glitchy, but it's a very good game, and it's very well, down to the driving and stuff. I think it's brilliant, and I think that I think everyone should fucking, excuse me language, but everyone should back off with the. It's really annoying because it's one of the worst things in the group. It comes up more than anything about this EA badging, and there's people. The problem is that we have a lot of people from EA that work in EA in the group, seeing everything that's going up all the time and taking it personal. And like I understand it. You know what I mean? I do understand it. It'd be like if people were badgering the Republic players all the time and you had to sit there and watch it. It'd be horrible. Do you know what I mean? It would be horrible. I understand it. But what can we do? So people have their opinions. You can't really gatekeep everyone all the time. But I think they should, like, they all give out about EA, but they all play EA games all the time. Everyone buys
same
FIFA.
The same guy will give out and then also go and buy FIFA every year.
Buy FIFA. Oh, I hate this game.
And as well, a lot of the times as well, I think sometimes we'll say the meme or whatever that's posted is definitely tongue in cheek. It's definitely meant as like a little bit of a
Oh, yeah.
but then it's the comments are what get it spicy.
Yeah, definitely.
That gets very salty.
I think like it all reverts back to Battlefront 2 and the launch of that game. But I mean,
it's way before that. EA won most evil company in the world like 3 years running in the mid 2000s.
yeah, but I'm talking about
So
I'm talking about the microtransaction kind of carry on.
Right.
Like,
I thought you meant just like
FIFA's been doing it for
general
years,
hate.
haven't they?
yeah, FIFA's been doing it for years,
true.
but I think what happened with Battlefront was because it changed the level of player online by the amount of money that you put in. That was the big deal, and that was a problem for me as well.
What is the evil? Why are they evil? Because of microtransactions, or are they
It's
doing
just
something to their?
the amount of companies they have bought, they underperform a little bit and they just close them and then the games just go away.
But like, is that evil?
It's business though, isn't it?
I know, but is it evil? Like, evil to me is like, you know,
Oh, the most evil company was a voted in thing. Like that's just people didn't like them.
like if people are like, we've had like Red Dead was coming out. There was rumors of them, all their company overworking their workers and not paying them right and all that. That's kind of evil. EA are like being flat out saying they're doing
Anyone that I know that
microtransactions.
works there gets on pretty well and makes a decent wage. So I mean, you know, and that's why we know people that work there and they do get a little bit personal, as Paddy said. But also you do have to understand, you know, if my workplace was getting said or a Republic of Players, something bad was said, we'd stand up for them. Like, so I suppose there has to be a little bit of back and forth and a little bit of understanding.
As I said, I do understand, but it's the same as the cyberpunk memes coming in now all the time, constantly. Like, if someone, am I supposed to stop everything, like all the memes from every company ever because someone has opinion on it? Do you know what I mean? It's very hard to say.
No, I don't think we should be stopping it. I think definitely
Yeah.
we should leave room for discussion, but where the discussion comes from, sometimes it's very weak knowledge of
Like, it's
the company or
constant
the games.
cyberpunk this week. It's constant badgering cyberpunk, and I understand it. But
That's
like,
funny though. Like,
Oh yeah, it's the big story.
but what
It's
if
funny.
what if people were from cyberpunk or from who made cyberpunk? Fucking
Project
CD
Red.
Projekt.
Yeah, what if they're in there? There could be people from CD Projekt in there.
They're laughing all the way to the bank.
There you go. They're getting their big bonus. They don't care.
Like, we were in contact with them before CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're
But
in there.
did
or not.
you
There could be.
lose-
Sony's definitely. In
I
there,
actually
and
went for a
Xbox are in
job
there.
at CD Projekt and
Did you?
got very far into the interview process.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was for it was actually to present CD or Cyberpunk on like stage. It was like a temporary presentation kind of games presenter. But yeah, I have the email there from like one of the workers, and they seem pretty, you know, really kind of nice, emailing back and forth, lots of advice. And when I didn't get it, they were like, you know, we apologize, but you didn't get to position, but well done, you did a great, you know, interview process. So
Go for it again if something comes
yeah,
up.
exactly. Yeah. So, you know, and there's opportunities there. But again, when you look at it from the outside, you do have the kind of corporate mentality, especially when it comes to these big corporate companies that, like, surprise, it is all about the money at the end of the day. And sometimes gamers, they forget that, like, a little bit, especially when it comes to the bigger AAA companies.
But it's not that. It's not just that. And we've definitely discussed this before. But it's also just the way people try and have a discussion these days. Not everybody, but the way a lot of people try and have discussions online discourse, we'll call it. And it's people are so, this is my opinion, and then the other person is, this is my opinion, and there's just no middle ground. And it's like, not only do I disagree with you, but because you disagree with me, you're evil. And I hate you.
You're evil.
But that's what
it's so easy throwing around, isn't it?
I'm basically not exaggerating.
Evil.
It
Have
gets
you
that
been
bad.
on Twitter?
No.
That's what yeah.
I got
what I mean.
abused on Twitter. It's the first time I got abused in years. Put up a picture of me and put up a picture of me with the PS5, and some guy just went it down.
Why are you so mad? It's only a game.
John had to get in there and save me.
Oh, of course. I was going to
It
back
was
you anyway.
hilarious. It was hilarious.
And Twitter.
Yeah.
Like Twitter. It should be destroyed. It's evil.
Destroy.
It's evil.
You can go down some rabbit holes on Twitter.
Oh, you
Lots
can.
on Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, to Facebook.
So prepare to avoid being sus on Switch. The internet sensation that is Among Us is coming to Nintendo Switch, and it's even coming with crossplay.
Nice.
Switch continues to get its library added to, and what a system. And I think Switch is a really good place for Among Us.
Oh,
I
100%.
agree completely.
I absolutely adore that game.
What's the next
we-
console from Nintendo?
I think we're going to know around April.
Wow,
Yeah,
nice.
and it's like it's like upgraded.
There's
Switch.
talk of a 4K Switch dock coming out in April.
Yeah.
They would have the
Do you think another console come out next Christmas, or is that
and
too
then
early?
and then an upgraded version of it completely before
Yeah.
Christmas. That's the
Oh,
rumor.
imagine next year this could be the same thing again.
But
But it wouldn't be a new
Except-
console,
except-
just an upgraded one.
Except
Oh,
I'll be getting the pre-order for this new Switch.
And hopefully COVID will have calmed down a little bit and we can actually go to the shops. Who the feck knows? But what I will say about Among Us,
Winter is
that-
coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter
Winter
is
is here. But Among Us is a fantastic game. I play it every weekend with my friends from Turles, and like
Never
we
got
had
an
some-
invite.
Sorry, Pep.
We're not friends from Turles.
It's
Yeah.
moved to Charles.
Think it'd be
Well,
worth it.
Paddy's here. He's watching us. He's watching us all the time. But no, it's just such a fun game, and it's a concept. The thing about it is that the fact that it's so situational based, like you're basically doing the same thing over and over again. Let's not get it twisted. But the fact that you have to lie and you have to always come up with a new scenario for yourself is what gives that longevity. It's the fact that you always have to be on your toes, or you always have to like remember everything that happens. Because sometimes I'm the freaking crewmate, and they go, "What were the last 3 tasks you do?" And I go, "I don't know." And they go, "Is it guilty?" I'm like, "No, I just don't remember. I was in my own little world."
I'm pissed.
Is there room for this game to be like, so let's take the Among Us 2. Are we getting like a game where it could be, you know, massive 3D in a spaceship? Do you think it's going to evolve, or is Among Us like it's going to come and go?
There's a lot of it's probably going to come and go.
No,
But
as in the
there's
genre,
a-
as in that style of game where you're kind of
But that's still
It's
a
like
game
a
that
mid-
existed for like 50 years.
yeah, like a werewolf or mafia or something like that. Like that style
what?
of game has been around. Do you know Mafia or Werewolf?
No.
No, am I the only one who knows
I
these?
don't know them in
They're like-
particular.
They're like party games. You play
Yeah.
them. It's the
Secret
exact same.
Hitler.
Well, that's the less PC one, but
It's really good.
yeah, they're basically the same game. I know. But by the name of that game, I understand what you mean. It's
So what
Among Us,
makes
but
Among
in a-
Us different than the rest of the games that came before? Just one influencer said, "Hey, I want to play this game," or did it just get lucky?
Definitely,
Yeah.
it got massive on Twitch
Yeah.
and on YouTube. Towers or what was it? Town of Salem is another good example. But well, one of the things is, Ronan, that these games were never really made into video games. These are like party games that are played in a circle with people.
I think
Right, like a board game
Uh,
type of thing.
Not even. It's just like, well, your one might be, but our one would just literally be like, you have rules and you're just kind of sitting around and it's like, right, everybody close their eyes and then you'll get pieces of paper and it's like, I'm just going to use Among Us terms. You're the
Yeah.
imposter, you're the imposter. And then it's like, right, whoever the imposters look up and look at the other imposter, everyone else keep their heads down, right?
Yeah,
And then
that's
stuff like that. And
yeah.
you know what I mean? Stuff like that. It is the fact that it does keep it fresh. And there's a new map coming out as well, which actually got leaked on the Switch because of a glitch. So you can actually
Wow.
play the new map on the Switch right now.
what I think helped that game a lot as well is that people love to play with streamers, and that game is so easy for everyone to play.
Yeah.
Mobile,
it's
on
good
your mobile
community-based
phone.
game.
It's a massive, you know yourselves that, and if you play with people streaming, there's way more people watching. There's way more people
Yeah.
in to try play with you, and that goes with big streamers as well. That they get a chance to play, and you just have to pick up your mobile and start playing with them.
Free on mobile, may I add.
Yeah, I played with
And-
the class actually on mobile.
It is a good game. I enjoyed the crack when we were playing it. I enjoyed it
Yeah.
a lot. I can
next
see it being
24
around a while,
stream-
but it might die off a little bit.
You
The
know,
next 24-hour stream should have a really good Among Us game.
What's that?
Nice.
The next 24-hour stream we do would have probably
Yeah.
end up with
Yeah,
a really
yeah.
good Among Us game.
oh, definitely, yeah.
Sure. It'd be easy to play, but I go, oh, come on.
Also, Rodan, you're going to like this as well. It came out on Game Pass, so it's actually free on PC now on
Oh,
Game
wow.
Pass.
Wow.
Because it's usually like $3.99 or whatever. I've
Yeah,
seen.
yeah.
And it's coming to console, like proper, like Xbox and PlayStation early next year, and it's going to be free on Xbox with Game Pass.
I'd
Yeah.
say, crossplay everywhere, yeah.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a
all
massive
crossplay, yeah.
appreciation for that game. I don't play it as much as you guys, but it's
Haven't
people
played
seem
it
to be
either much.
really, really enjoying it, and that's
Oh
kind
yeah,
of,
every
that's
weekend.
good.
I play it every weekend.
UK
Plays
scalpers,
poker.
UK scalpers in trouble. UK suggesting laws be put in place so that scalpers can't sell consoles at its retail price
Over its retail price, I'm guessing.
over the retail price. Yeah, just edit that out.
Say here, Al.
How they will go about it it waits to be seen. But the question is, will this really have an effect on stopping scalpers? So a big kind of issue with the release of the new consoles. Scalpers have always been around, whether it's tickets for a concert or tech. Is this going to stop anyone doing what they're going to do?
Oh, me like
Ticketmaster did
Nope.
something similar, didn't they, a few years ago?
yeah, it is illegal to scalp tickets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember actually going to football games and scalping is illegal. Yeah.
Something that happens every 7 years. I don't think they'll actually change the law for it.
No.
No, but they're on about bringing it. It's gone into Parliament and stuff, so like it is a good possibility that's something's going to happen.
But every 7 years, like it doesn't necessarily have to be consoles. Like it happened with PSVR, it happened with the Switch, it happened with the NES Mini. It happened with it's not just the big releases. It's just stuff that has a limited supply. People will do this for.
I don't like the way governments go on that it's a free market, but it's a free market to a point where you can't. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It is a free market. It's not a free market.
That the free market exists and is a good thing is a lie.
A lie.
It's a lie. It doesn't exist. It's free if you have billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, but it is to a certain point. That's the same as America, though. It's like it's a free market, but you can't get too big because it will take you off you. Like Google and Facebook and all that, they're eventually going to get breaking down, and we all know what's going to happen. Like that shouldn't be allowed. It's either free market or it's not. I know you're saying it's a lie,
but if you allow that free market, they end up taking over the world.
Yeah, but the government's already in charge of the world anyway. So, but the only thing what I do agree with this is the bots. They're making that illegal. Yeah. But I don't know how they're going to enforce this. The internet police going to get you. I mean, like the fucking.
I reckon, and again, I completely agree with you that it's not going to enforce it completely. But I reckon any UK sites will have to comply if this becomes legislation. Like eBay, you won't be able to post a PS5 for £1,000 anymore because that'll be against their rules.
I think you're more than likely going to have bot laws, and I don't think price limiting is something that.
But if the bot,
it's a scary.
Can they put bot laws on Tarkov? Can they?
But software engineers and stuff and all that will be always ahead of people. Like these hackers will always be ahead of everyone. Like VPNs and all they have to do is change their IP addresses.
Completely agree.
How are you going to stop it? And do you know what I mean? They're always going to be ahead. What's that?
Torrenting's illegal.
Yeah, it's all illegal. We all know. Yeah. Everyone's doing it for years.
I could teach a 5-year-old in 5 minutes.
Can you teach me? But
I agree with you. There's definitely a million workarounds, especially when
you're working on the scalpers have made millions. I don't know.
They have to have.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, up and buy and play. Buyandplay.com.
€75 a ticket.
€75 ticket. Yeah. No, it's only a £10 ticket. There's still tickets.
There's no controller in it. He's took the controller.
There's an extra controller.
Oh,
it's just filled with rice.
These games. Look at this. The TV as well. Oh, Jesus, lads.
So, all joking aside, buyandplay.ie.
Yeah, both. Both. Both now.
Nice.
.ie just goes to .com. But I got it for that purposes.
€10 ticket.
€10. I think there's
when's that draw happening? Next Friday?
Whenever it sells out. So there's
end of the show, Paddy. End of the show.
There's 60 tickets left. I have to get it some by. I wanted to get it some by Christmas. And actually, if somebody, I'm probably shouldn't say this publicly, or I am going to say it, but if he's darn too far away, I'll probably drive it myself because it's locked down. You're allowed to drive to different counties after tomorrow. So if whoever wins, if they're close enough, not Cork.
I don't want you coming to my house. I want you to send it to me. Send it, please, Paddy.
The problem is, if I sent the last person I sent took nearly a week and a half to get to somebody. Like that's something, and I'm sitting there with my heart in my mouth. Because if it doesn't get there, there's no way I can replace it. So it's just so it's more the thing as I just wanted to deliver it, so I know they get.
Here's your tenner back.
Here's your tenner. It's grand.
Sorry.
It'd be really handy when I drive out and collect again the next phone from you.
That's what he came. That's the first time I met him. He came and collected it for his mates, Jamie, that won the last one.
Nice.
I've owned 3 of these now, and I've never opened the box. And I've owned 4 Xbox X's and 1 Xbox S.
Get ready for a world of hate on Twitter, Paddy.
Yeah. Bother me. Come at me.
We are going to go on to our topic of the week, and it is our game of the year. We're going to talk about the games that have been nominated.
Are we doing the community first or ours first?
Yeah, we can go through community first.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, just to clarify, because it was kind of just a screenshot. We'll say there was 12, so if you want to do a top 10, we'll say the last 2 honorable mentions, and then you can count from 10 up if you want to do it that way.
I've got 3 votes on 10, 1 vote on 11, and no votes on 12. Am I right there?
Yeah, I know it was
Why
no
is
vote,
it-
but
oh,
it
yeah.
still got nominated.
Nominated. Okay. Perfect.
But then that guy didn't vote for it, whoever nominated it.
So we got
Looks like a cool game.
we'll do the top 12 then, and nominations kind of starting from 12. We'll do maybe a game each just to make it interesting. We'll do a round table. Yeah, open the list there. And I'll start first. I have no idea what this game is. Maybe one of you guys have played it. It is Man Eater.
It's being a shark simulator.
Oh yes. Now it rings a bell. I haven't
Well,
played
me
it,
too.
but it looked kind of a lot of fun. Like a lot of
Yeah.
lot of
Sounds
fun.
like it stars a woman. No.
Oh,
What? What's from saying that? Excuse me. 2020.
It was a song.
Yeah, exactly. John.
also a
John.
boss in Demon Souls.
Is there?
Oh, I
Yes.
can't believe you said that. I
Man
can't believe you
Eater.
said
What's the
that.
second name? Man
Just Man
Eater
Eater.
something.
No, it's just many here.
Is it? Okay.
Never heard of it.
Quite difficult.
I've heard of
Original.
Mafia Definitive Edition. It's Definite Edition, already.
Yeah. So
I don't play it.
Number 11 is Mafia. Did anyone play the original? I know this is a remaster.
I know my brother loves them.
My brother loves them as well. Actually, I never played them.
I
John-
like 2. I don't like 3. But the original was an interesting game for the time.
Yeah.
The real life traffic law stuff was really interesting.
Oh, nice.
Everyone in the chat drop what your favorite game of the year is, if anyone's still alive.
Yeah, let's hear it. John, do you want to name number 10?
Get drink.
I will. Demon
Top-
Souls remake in at number 10, hot off the list. Demon Souls remake, yeah, very good. If you like your Dark Souls-esque game, Soulsborne games as they call them, they should call them Soulsborne Rico. No, Sekiro.
Hey.
Whatever it was.
That's getting overcomplicated.
Yeah. Souls or Rico. Maybe when there's more than one Sekiro, we can do that.
Yeah, true.
From
There's only one
games.
Bloodborne. That's in there. But
Yeah, but
Well, I will-
that deserves it, dude. I suppose
true.
Sekiro does as well, but Bloodborne
It
is
but yeah, no, I agree with you.
Bloodborne is
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
My favorite. Demon Souls. Thing about Demon Souls is they were very, very. They stuck to the original game a lot. They even purposefully kept in some of the glitches. That's how much they wanted to make it like the original.
Nice.
And the thing about it is, I've never played Demon Souls before, and Demon Souls for me, and again, I enjoyed it. It's the best looking one you can play at 60 frames per second. You can definitely tell. For me, it felt like the prototype to what Dark Souls would become.
Yeah.
Because it's a fun game. Well, if you're a Souls fan, in my opinion, and I know people love it. I know it's some people's favorite one. The bosses were very easy. I'd seen everything before because they did everything again in their subsequent games because Demon Souls didn't do too great at launch. So you can tell that he took the ideas from Demon Souls and did them again. There are literal places, and I know Demon Souls is the original, so I can't really say it's copying Dark Souls.
It wasn't the most popular though.
No, but there's actual parts in Demon Souls that are identical to what you'll see in different games. Like there's a part, Latria. The second part of Latria is the Profound Capital. It just is. It's the exact same as it. The first part of Latria, it looks like Bloodborne. There's just parts that there's bosses that are the same as a boss you will fight. Like we'll say the Storm King or the Storm Lord, where you have to get the sword that shoots out the wind to beat it. That's the same as Yorm.
Stormbreaker.
It's the exact same mechanic. And it just felt like they did it all again afterwards, and they did it better. Just in my opinion. Also, it was very easy for me. I had no problem with any of the bosses. The only boss that killed me more than like 3 times was actually a gimmick boss that a lot of people find easy, and I died in them about 10 times. It's the dragon god, and you literally have to. It's like you have to hide between pillars and don't let him see you. I kept just being way too quick and impatient, and I kept getting killed by him at one hit. But
graphically, is it the best it's ever looked?
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best looking Souls game out there because it's Blue
€70 game.
Yeah,
Blue Point do fantastic work. Blue Point do great work. So it's a good game. But if you're a Souls fan, and again, this is just my opinion, I don't know if I prefer to. I don't even think I prefer to Dark Souls. I think I prefer Dark Souls 2, honestly. But
I love Dark Souls too.
so
honestly.
do I. But it's my least favorite. Well, it was my least favorite Souls game.
I love Dark Souls 2.
Same.
Yeah. But saying it's my least favorite Souls game, it's still a game that I love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're all brilliant. And same with this. I still really enjoy playing this game. It was just a bit too easy for me. It never stumped me once. Even Maneater, who was like a notoriously really hard boss, I bet him on my second time. On my own. I didn't summon.
It's strange, John,
In case
because
people ask.
I've played them all, cleared them all, except for Demon Souls. I found it super difficult playing the original. Like, really, really difficult. I think it was... Now, maybe they've changed this, but you were saying it's kind of a 1-for-1. The boss runs were so difficult. Like, there is...
Oh, they are. Yeah, some of them are, yeah.
Yeah, there's an area where it just... Everything wants to kill you. There's like... I remember, like, there's stuff hanging off the ceilings. Is it like there's acid or something in them? It's a good bit into the game anyway, but you're running along like these piers nearly. You're getting to it could be Maneater actually, that area.
Oh, Latria. Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's like, we'll say like you're up really high and you're like walking on like pedestals nearly and there's bridges connecting them. Yeah, that's Latria. That's towards Maneater, yeah.
Yeah,
that is one of the harder areas. That and the obligatory, if you play a Souls game, the obligatory Poison Swamp.
Yeah, but
yeah, well, yeah, the
1.5.
The first Blight Town before Blight Town was a thing.
Yeah.
That's probably another. That was also a hard part of the game. But no, again, this is just my opinion, and again, I'm pretty damn good at Souls games, guys. So maybe it's not everybody's experience.
You've been playing them a while.
you know what I mean? No, but I the boss runs were never really an issue because I don't think any boss bar Demon God took me more than 2 or 3 goes to kill. Even the guy with the sword at the end was fine.
Pat, do you want to name our number 9 Community Game of the Year nomination?
I would love to, but my internet's been a bit shaky this whole time, so I've closed all my things and I don't know what's on the list. I can't remember. Streets of Rage 4. Oh yeah, it's just coming back to me now. Yeah, Streets of Rage 4.
Pat?
I'll be back
funnily enough, I bought it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till I get 3 other mates to sit down and play this 4-player local. And I just haven't been able, since with COVID, you just haven't been able to do that. But
I played it. I got bored of it pretty quickly. You there, Pat?
Yes, I am here. Yes, I've never left. But I'm dying to get into it, but I do want to experience it with friends first and foremost, rather than just going through it on my own.
It came out on one of them. What is it? Loads of games in one kind of games. Remember that a few years ago? It's not Streets of Rage 4, Streets of Rage, the original one.
Yeah.
The Sega Mega Drive Classics collection.
That was great crack online playing with mates. I played that with a few boys. That was fun. I got Streets of Rage 4 on PC and I played it for a while and then I got bored of it. It's very difficult to play on a keyboard and mouse, to be honest. It just didn't work and I ended up not playing it. But it's graphically very, very good, nice game. I can understand why it's in the list. It'd never be like top game of the year, but it's up there, I suppose.
It's somebody, but at the same time, that's a better game if you had more than one person.
100%.
I find that real difficult with one person.
Definitely
Maybe the 5 votes were just a crew of guys that play together.
Could be.
Like, we're going to get this into the list.
We might as well skip the next game.
Year ever.
We might as well skip the next game. That's what we're talking about.
The next game is not great. Aiden, do you want to go with number?
So Hades was robbed, as Hades is obviously the best game released this
number
year.
8.
How far down it is on the list?
I'm heartbroken.
See, I think there's an issue here with indie games that sometimes people are like, it shouldn't be in a top 10 list because it's not a AAA blockbuster classic. I totally disagree with that. Now, I think that every game should have a shout. And I'm looking forward to playing this. But give us a kind of a rundown of what Hades is.
Okay, so everyone knows basically what a roguelike is. You play the same, start from the beginning each time. Hades evolved that genre in a way that I didn't see coming, where it's no longer just I'm repeating the game over and over. Every time you run through this game is an evolution of the story and the world that you're playing in at all times. Because you have the one objective. You are Hades' son. You are trying to escape from hell. If you die in hell, you come back to the pool of blood in Hades' office, and he's like, "Ha! You failed again, Dick."
Nice.
So there's an incredible cast of characters. There's the three demons that Hades sends to stop you. When you kill them as bosses and then die, you'll find them in the bar going, "You killed me again." And it's just the way all of these characters evolve through the
Sounds like
game.
Little Nicky.
In a way, yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah, it really is,
weirdly
actually.
enough, yeah.
Where do you think you were going to go? What was it? Manhattan or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, there's characters like Achilles is there, and Achilles is, you sort of find out more. At every run, characters will open up more to the character. You get to know these characters, and there's also little things like how the game sort of adapts to the way you play. Like the advancement system of this game is you're given a mirror, and that mirror allows you to put the souls you take from the enemies into your skills. And there's one of the times I beat the first boss, and she's like, "Well, you had the mirror. Obviously, you're going to win. I never chanced you had all this power." And just sort of by chance, I was like, I wonder what happens if I go fight her now and take all my powers off. So I cleared out my stats and I beat her. And she's like, "I no longer have an excuse. Yeah, you managed to beat me without the mirror." And just like things like that, the game constantly. I have like 60 runs in that game, and I've never heard a repeated line of dialogue in the entire game.
Jesus.
Wow.
It evolved. It's Supergiant make incredible games.
I was going to say, they
They're
make fantastic games.
Bastion
plays
is it Bastion Supergiant?
Yeah.
Transistor.
Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre.
Transistor is brilliant as well.
Like, it's actually insane that I haven't played it, because they're probably my favorite games of all time. Well, I'll talk about one in a bit, but most of the ones that I really enjoy are roguelikes.
Yeah.
And it's also
Same.
made by a company that I hold with the utmost respect, and I still haven't played it.
I think
Have a weekend and just play away at it, John. It's so good.
it's probably the only games where they try to fall behind is probably like they don't have enough money for marketing and stuff like that. And they don't
marketing
get
is this thing.
They don't
But
get.
their art design is stellar. The character art for this game is amazing, and all the voice acting is really, really good.
No, sorry. Aidan.
I cannot fault it. Like, and in a year that Final Fantasy VII remake came out, and like, I love that thing so much. I still think Hades is the best game released this year.
And I was going to say, I reckon why it doesn't have as many votes as people think. It mightn't just be the fact that it's an indie game and people don't think it should be there. I reckon a lot of people haven't actually played it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I don't even think I've ever heard of it until like you talked about it. And I think that's where I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about the market. They might have good graphics and good thing, but maybe they don't have enough money to get it out there. Do you know?
This is only on PC, isn't it?
It's on PC and Switch.
Switch. So
It's not
I
a PC.
want to play this game, but all I have is a PS4.
It is coming to
So-
PS4, but it's not out yet.
That's when I'll be getting it.
Everybody who's listening to this and has a PC or Switch, I cannot recommend it enough.
Nice.
Sweet.
Double negative.
Hey, Paddy, you can talk about the next one.
Animal Crossing Horizon. Well, I play no.
The game of lockdown.
Animal Crossing is after coming out. Like that's a massive game. Now, obviously it was out before as well. But this game, there's a lot of people that are stuck into it like a cult. They absolutely love it. They adore
There's
it.
chat shows in it.
Is there chats? But it's one of them types of games. You're either into me or not, and I'm definitely not. So
That's why I was joking. That's why I was
Yeah.
like, I know Paddy. I know this is like the
Definitely not.
anti-Paddy game.
I definitely know. It reminds me of remember the farm game that used to be on the
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
on
Oh,
Facebook.
Farmville.
Yeah, Farmville on Facebook.
Oh, don't! That's insulting.
So come on now, it's the same bloody thing.
It's not. It's more like Harvest Moon.
Have you played it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I probably put 60 hours into that game this year. I really
I
liked it.
think
That's
you might be
nice,
better
yeah.
off talking about that.
So yeah, if anyone doesn't know, Harvest Moon is a game where you move to a new town, and somehow this mega capitalist with infinite money starts giving you money and putting you into debt, and then telling you you're in charge of the town, and keep giving me your money.
That was the way.
Oh, sorry.
Tom Nook, one of the
Show me
real
the
good
way.
villains in games.
Give me a penny every time that happens to me. Yeah.
But yeah, one of the most
3
mind-blowing
pennies.
things that happened this year was Phil Spencer from Head Xbox was on the Animal Crossing talk show, which I thought was amazing. There's a game. There's a
Yeah.
game. There's a guy, games journalist, who hosts a talk show and has everybody make their character in Animal Crossing, and they all go on sit on the sofa in the Animal Crossing. And having Phil Spencer on that was just one of the weirdest moments of the year.
It's like, and again, I play stuff like Minecraft and stuff as well, which is like
Minecraft.
It is at the end of the day. I know there's stuff you can do, but it is sort of busy work the game. So I can't really give out about that much. But games like that always kind of remind me of that sketch from The Simpsons where Marge is trying to get him to do the yard work, and then they go to the Comic-Con or whatever. It's like VR yard work simulator. Oh God, I can't wait to do this. Like, when I ask you to do yard work,
It's not the same thing.
It's a game about finding a project.
Nice.
The game
It's
doesn't
huge.
really.
It's
yeah, it
huge.
doesn't.
It looks gorgeous.
I
That
say it's
sounds
a lot
really
of
nice.
people's game of the year. To be fair, I say it's a lot. I know there's only 6 votes in thing, but we're very, very much PlayStation bound in our group. So
yeah.
it's very. You can tell that we're what's number one. We won't spoil it.
It was the game of the lockdown when lockdown started.
Yeah, it was,
came
yeah.
out at the same time.
But I think it's definitely people do love it.
Well,
And the
it
next one,
definitely helped when you look at it, like, because you weren't allowed to go outside. So like people are like, oh, we
Who
can
wants to do
build a
yard
little
work?
island here. But like, here I did that yard work over lockdown because I'm literally, bored out of my mind.
A lot of
But,
people
like-
did. A lot of gardens across the country.
you just got a PC. There's lots to do on a PC there.
Also, the tarantulas from Harvest or from Animal Crossing are the best horror game villain of the year.
Yeah, I've
David
seen
Baxter,
that.
Forza 7's game of the year.
I think that says game of the year every year.
Yeah, Baxter doesn't play anything else. The next one is Cyberpunk 2077.
We've talked
Pat.
a lot about that.
Money Man hasn't played it. Pat, what? Tell us about that now.
Well, actually, funny enough, I've.
No, you're not even going to give out about it. Don't talk about
No,
it.
no. I actually have positives to say about this. So I
Alright.
did.
Okay.
Now I remember saying that like the gunplay from the trailers didn't look that intriguing at all, but having actually seen the gunplay from reviews, like proper reviews, not the B-roll footage ones,
Trying to get a
it
troller there, but
looks
the trailer.
it looks so much more fun. So it does. And my biggest gripe with that game is now gone. Like, obviously, glitches aside,
Yeah.
but my biggest gripe was that the gunplay looked boring.
Actually,
but
now you
it
think about
wasn't.
it, I
what
thought
I've
the
seen
weird
so
thing
far.
about that game was the amount of stuff you can store on yourself. Do you see
Yeah.
how many guns you can hold and all that?
Yeah.
That is unbelievably so
Although
bad how much
I'm-
stuff you can hold.
Although, again, this is difference of way people play games. You won't be able to believe how quick I fill that up.
Oh, same as we said, but that's
Yeah.
the point, though. But it's unrealistic that he holds that so much stuff on him. There's no bags.
Nano
there's no
machines.
nothing. All right, okay, fair enough. That's all you have to say, John.
You could put
That's-
so many dildos in that bag,
They're on about removing them, aren't they? All the dildos.
and halving them is what I heard.
Yeah, a bigger-
I haven't come across again. I'm very.
it has to be
freaking
big or nothing.
Focused, straightforward. That's my motto.
I don't have any
But-
dildos in my bag.
I'm very straightforward.
They're
when I play
here.
games like this. I don't think I've seen a dildo in that game, and apparently
No.
they're everywhere.
Yeah,
Um,
the article I read was CD Projekt Red considering reducing the distractingly high amount of dildos in the game.
Somebody said they should make them trophies. Like pick them up as trophy systems. That makes sense because for some reason they have dicks in it. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm gonna
why they did
just
that.
do a downvote because I haven't found any.
Yeah, I haven't found any dildos either, Ronan.
I'm a
Oh,
little
lads,
bit
you're
jealous.
you're so unfortunate.
That's why I bought the game, Paddy. I was
I-
promised them.
I think if Cyberpunk 2077 came out in a better condition, I think it would be a lot higher on the list. It could be number one.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
I think
Well,
the storyline. I think we haven't had enough time with it either. It's only out like a week. Let's face it.
I don't think you'll convince the people that voted for Last of Us not to vote for Last of Us, but I think it could be number 2.
Again, yeah, true.
True.
But we
This
can give-
group,
I think
Ghost-
we're gonna
not-
give
not
that-
Ghost Love, yeah.
By the time we come back in 2 weeks or something, we'll probably have a different opinion on it. We'll probably be able to talk about the game. in
I
more
think by
discussion.
March, that
March.
it'll be talked of incredibly highly.
When,
It's-
when
I
you get the
think
upgrade, the proper next gen upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think maybe they should have waited till after and give because maybe they might have been able to get game of the year next year if they did that.
Yeah, I
wait.
think they should have waited till like last week of March. So they could have still got into the fiscal year, but
Like I'm definitely gonna keep playing it. I'm gonna finish it. I know I am.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
I know that kind of game that I am. I'm gonna do Valhalla as well.
again, it runs fine on PC.
Yeah. But I could buy it on PC as well, maybe
Yeah.
when it gets cheaper. I might buy it
Speaking
on
of
PC.
Valhalla, that's not the next game. The next game is Doom Eternal. Anyone play Doom
Yeah.
Eternal?
I started. I enjoyed it. I played it for a while. It's a good game. I like it. It's the Doom game.
Rip and tear.
Rip
bang,
and
bang,
tear.
shit.
So I got stuck in a little part and I didn't go back to it then. It's like, no. And I started playing something else, go back to Tarkov. But yeah, I can understand why it's good. John Romero, friend of the show. He was actually on that. I was watching an RT program, Gamer Mode. Year One was on to me again. The producer of it was on to me.
Shout out to Empire of Sin as well, newly released from Romero.
I didn't watch it. I didn't play it.
No, I didn't play it, but I do want to play it. I actually bought it, but I just didn't play it.
Again, it reminds me of that game you reviewed before, Ron. It does very much remind me of that game.
Yeah, I had to get the name of that game. But yeah, it's very similar to that. It's the same style. It's the same kind of XCOM. Yeah. It just looks like there's a lot of things happening. And yeah.
I have a shameful truth to say. I have never played a Doom game.
You're very young, though, so it's understandable.
But at the same time, I'm kind of old.
You're not old. What age are you?
I'm 23. That's
old. Oh, jeez, you're age.
You're only a gossin.
I'm 32. 32 and 3/3.
Pat, that 2016 Doom game goes down to seriously low prices. I know
it's brilliant.
Yeah. Doom Eternal on Game Pass.
One of the strongest first 5 minutes of a game I've ever seen.
It always comes back with the Doom games and stuff like that with John Romero is the fact that he started first-person shooters and he made the genre basically the way it came today, and that's a big deal. Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. You wouldn't have Call of Duty and all that stuff going massively without the likes.
Of you got it. Also John Cormack. You can't. Call him. He was the programmer after all. You gotta remember the programmers.
I would take the Doom style over most styles of first-person shooters. I love that hyper fast, kinetic, just rip and tear.
They were the multiplayer. It started the multiplayer genre as well. The shooting.
Quick.
There was multiplayer when people were like, "What the hell is that?" Like people are playing. It was more kind of LAN, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually still do LAN parties here in the house, and because we were thinking, is it a LAN party? And you're using the same network, so.
Yeah,
it is, isn't it? Yeah.
LAN will be on the same network,
Yeah. And I like doing it because it kind of it brings you back. We played a couple of games. We played like Battlefield 4. We played Grand Theft Auto, which was a lot of fun, doing a heist like all in the same room. It was deadly. We had like all our kind of plans pinned on the wall behind us, and
Nice.
Who wants to shout out the next game, guys? Big one from
Pat.
Friends of the show. Did the review, didn't he?
Pat.
Is it Valhalla?
It is. There you go.
Yeah. I knew that. I definitely knew that and wasn't guessing.
It's one of your mobile games.
No, Valhalla is like, I'm surprised it's this high up in all honesty. Like, it's a good game, but I wouldn't say it's like brilliant. Like, I enjoyed my time with it. Yeah, but that doesn't say it's a good game. That's like me just naming any game and going, it's a good game. Like, I don't know. Like, it is a good game. I won't take that away from it. I enjoyed my time. You said it was fucking
brilliant because that's what was on the.
I drew a beer for God's sake.
Yeah.
I'm only messing.
I bloody enjoyed being a Viking. I enjoyed the music, the minigames, everything like that is pretty great. But like, the game is way too long. It gets a bit repetitive. The map is seriously too big. They have too many maps that are big.
But isn't that every single Assassin's Creed game ever? They have the same issues.
2 was a good size.
Yeah, 2 was good size, was it?
Yeah.
I think Unity was pretty small as well, wasn't it? The French one.
I've never played it.
I really have to get into that game more. Valhalla. It does look very good.
It was bigger than Black Flag, I think.
Oh, Black Flag is so good.
Let's be honest, like with the year of game that it is, it's not surprising that it's up there. Like on the rest of the list compared to it, it's definitely up there with them.
Yeah, no, I can understand it because Assassin's Creed, number one, it's a popular franchise, and number two, I've heard that this one is a particularly good one from the general consensus that I've heard of this particular Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
The next game, surprisingly, is quarter of a game. Aidan, do you want to call it out?
So Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is not a remake, but a sequel to Final Fantasy VII Having Children, and it's not a quarter of a game, but a full game.
What? Is it a full game now? Because we're not going to ever get to see the rest of it. Is that what you're saying?
No, full game. It is. Final Fantasy Remake it blew my mind. I didn't know what I wanted before I played it, and it exceeded every expectation I could ever have. Not only did they recreate some of the most sort of iconic moments from my childhood in games, They ended with such a explosion and twist that I never saw coming, that I spent days thinking and theory crafting where this is going, and it's one of the things I'm most excited for is what this next game is going to be.
So are you telling me that there's different story twists and stuff than the original?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I don't want it, and I know, like, spoiler alert, it should be a little bit old now because it's good.
He's getting intrigued.
I am
He's getting
intrigued. No,
intrigued,
don't
yeah.
get me wrong. I love the original Final Fantasy game.
So it's it.
And I actually really liked what I played. I played that little demo.
Yeah.
The one thing that stood out for me over everything was the music is just stunning in that little section that I played.
It's the soundtrack of the year, without a doubt.
It is unbelievable.
You never got past that, but there is a mechanic in the game where you find CDs, and each CD contains a completely genre warped version of one of the songs from the soundtrack, and
Class.
some of them are amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I loved what I played. I was kind of waiting for a sale more than anything. So if you guys see it on sale, let me know. It's a game that I definitely like play over the Christmas break. It's free on Game Pass.
I want it.
It doesn't overstay its welcome. Its combat system is excellent. It's such a fun combat.
It's 15 combat system. Let's be realistic, isn't it?
It isn't, because all the characters control differently.
It's
in a weird way.
Yeah. No, it's not one for one, but it's definitely taken some sort of influences.
It's what I think. I think 15's combat system was like, it's very bare bones basic, but a start, and they've taken that and have really sort of went with it. Like, all the characters control totally differently.
Yeah.
But in a weird way, controls like a beat 'em up character. Like, you combo her and you build up a combo.
Yeah, and then you get Barrett doing his kind of. It actually feels like, you know, a really powerful machine gun when you're using them. Like, and that's what I kind of liked. It was, and then you have like the special abilities that come in. Honestly, I really like the game. I just haven't got a chance to play the full.
I liked about the demo was that it's constant. That's what I like about the demo, is constant action. Whereas when they played the real game, then it was action, and then it was walking around for ages and talking to people. I just not my type of game. It needs to keep going, you know. That kind of constantly. I suppose that's why people love it. Side stories and stuff like that.
How long is how long? So are you telling me this is a full game, like, or is the next part, you know, part 2, or is it going to be Final Fantasy Remake 7? I don't know. Like, where are we going with this? Like, does anyone even know?
No,
nobody knows. It hasn't even been a word.
By the end of Remake, it really isn't as simple as you think it's going to be.
Okay.
But it's definitely, there is another part 2. Is it part 2?
Oh,
part 3,
there's
part
more.
4?
Yeah, no, I well believe it. But is it going to be another 10 years before we see it? No, I know that.
I genuinely think
6.
I think we'll probably see it by the end of 2022.
And will that be the final?
Oh God, I'd imagine if they made like a 40 or 50 hour game out of getting out of Midgar.
Is it? It's 40 hours, is it, or 40 or 50 hours?
It's roughly 40.
That's good,
hours.
actually. I like that.
Yeah.
No, it is.
You get like the stuff that they expand out on is excellent. Like the characters like Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse.
Yeah.
Are characters that are just like big characters in the original. They get some really good characters.
They're in every Biggs and Wedge are in every Final Fantasy game, aren't they?
Yeah. Them and Sid.
Sid as well, yeah.
Sid always has an airship.
He does. He's
Jesse
always badass. What's wrong? Oh, look at this.
I have to show off his new cabinet.
It's the one I'm not keeping it, but it's beautiful.
Honestly, that looks so cool. It's just
really
behind
cool.
curtain number 1.
Street Fighter, you know what, kick all your asses.
I bet you won't.
It's very good, but you can mod these to put the whole put thousands of games on it, and I think that's what it could be a next step, because they're not that bad. You can get a ticket online on buyandplay.com.
Who wants to call out number?
I think John knows anyone who played it.
I think I'm the only one who.
Bit of 2.
I was going to say, I think I'm the
Did
only
you
one
play
who
as well?
played
I played like an hour or 2 of it.
Yeah. Did you buy it, Pat?
But no, my friend, I was over at his house one time, and Makara, and he let me play it for a while. And I honestly think Ghost of Tsushima has a really fun combat system compared to most things out there, with its, you know, different stances.
What was that?
And I remember you, John, saying that one stance was particularly better. I think it was the water stance, wasn't it?
I can't remember which stance it was, but one I just started using that on everybody.
So I remember, I think it was the war stamp, but that's what I started using, and I died a lot just going trying to use that one there.
It looks
So,
gorgeous.
but this was the end game stuff. Yeah, it's a
Oh, well,
beautiful,
fair enough.
beautiful stuff. Yeah, like it's a very beautiful game.
Like I think I would
Like the
like this. I
landscapes and
haven't got a
everything.
chance to play this, but I actually
It's,
think I would
um,
like this game.
I very much enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I'm worn out. I'm worn out with games. Again, it's my own fault because I feel a need to do all the side missions. Again, I just petted too many foxes. I went too far with it. And by the time I got to the end game, I was so many hours in. I freed so many like camps. I had done all that stuff probably about 60 times that I was just like, I'm just going to stop playing this now. Nothing else to do with the story is kind of mediocre, in my opinion. Again, I shouldn't be talking about this. Every game I'm talking about, I'm freaking not talking great about. But I did very much enjoy it. The combat system. Okay, let's get with the positives. This is the second most voted game on the Republic of Players. The combat system is probably one of the best things about it. It is really, really fun to play. It's like a mixture of changing stances and having the right stance on for whoever you're fighting, mixed with, we'll say, nearly a Batman Arkham style, parry. If you see this indicator, you parry. If you see this indicator, you have to dodge it because it's an unblockable attack, and then you get your hits in. You've done it before. But this one kind of refines it in a very interesting way. It looks gorgeous.
It does.
The whole the map and everything is fantastic.
Loading times are stellar.
Yeah, it's just that I think I'm just worn out on these types of games. I think I'm just getting old.
They keep coming out. It's not.
They're all the same, if you really get into the nitty gritty of them.
And our number one, a couple of us have played it, is, who wants to say it out?
You can probably guess.
The Last of Us Part 2.
The community game of the year, the Republic of Players community game of the year is The Last of Us Part 2. Critically, like we talked about a little bit earlier, loved. A lot of, I suppose, negative comments about the game. All, like Paddy, you kind of referred to it earlier on, that negativity thrives. But a lot of people love this game, and I have played a little bit of it. I've played about 10 hours of it, and I started playing at a really bad time. I was super busy. I did like what I played, but I also had a couple of issues with pacing and kind of game design on kind of map sizes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's Naughty Dog. What you get is absolute quality from these guys, especially performances from the voice actors, and a story that people seem to really reverberate with and really enjoy. And yeah, it's I think a worthy game of the year winner. We look back through the games and we see, there is great games there, but I think it's one of, I'm not going to say the weakest lists, but doesn't seem to be anything challenging The Last of Us 2. I mean, that's out with 64 votes. Ghost is actually very close to it with 54 votes. But Final Fantasy 7 then is 27, and then we're down to 13-8.
Where's the delivery game?
That wasn't this year. That was
last year. Was it?
What was that?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
I liked what I played it at. I actually liked it.
No. It was up for it. It was one of the nominations.
Must be at the end of last year, was it? It was very close to the end.
It was. It was.
It looks gorgeous, that game.
Yeah.
I was actually still afraid to play The Last of Us 2. I don't want to ruin The Last of Us 1. It's just very edgy for me because The Last of Us 1 was brilliant.
I find that people's gripes with the game are totally different than mine, and the gripes are kind of nearly a predictable gripe. You're kind of like, we get it, like, I know you're upset about that, but you're actually meant to be upset about what you're getting upset about. So
yeah, I completely agree. People were upset, and I understand it.
It's something that happens very early on in the game.
Yeah, it's.
But we get over it and we move on.
It's something that people didn't want to happen, and because they didn't want to happen and they weren't expecting it, they go, no,
it's a bad game.
I wanted to be able to predict this game from start to finish.
Yeah.
I want the game to be written the way I want it.
Yeah,
and
let's do a partition.
But do they not like the fact that they were shocked a little bit at least? Like I when it happened, I was like, oh, that's heartbreaking. But it's okay. This is where we're going with this. Fair enough. I had more issues
Didn't bother
with
me at all.
how the game was structured, because again, not too much spoilers here, but they go through a time period, right, for the first like 10-15 hours of the game, right, and then it hits this like massive cliffhanger point, right, and then you go through the same time period over again for another 10 or 15 hours or whatever, 10 hours with a different character, and you see it from their perspective.
Yeah.
And when that hit first, and I was like, when it hit first, I was like, oh, now we're going to see what happens with this character. This is going to be interesting. I can't wait for this, 30 to 40 minute recap of their perspective. And then when I saw that I had a whole crafting tree to do again, I had a whole skill tree to do again, I was like, oh, this is going to be another 10 hours. And that did hit me. And I was like, oh God, no, that cliffhanger. And now we have to go through all again. And I think the story was slightly weaker. That middle part did drag a bit.
Yeah.
But I actually like that character because one thing I'll say about Last of Us 2 is I really like the gameplay.
That character won a lot of awards for that performance.
Yeah, and what I will say is
we're talking about Abby. For anyone that doesn't know, spoiler alert. I
don't think that's much of a spoiler because she's like one of the covers is her face.
Yeah, exactly.
But like basically, like I got over it, and honestly, that's what I was saying. She has the better weapons. When I came down to it, I enjoyed more playing as her. Take the story out of it. When I was playing as her, doing set pieces, I was like, God, I love this gun, or God, I love this thing. She had way better weapons than Ellie. And also, her last big set piece before you get back to where you are in the story, her last area is probably my favorite part of the game. Again, no context. I'll be as brief as I can. You're on an island, like a tropical island, and it's like out of nowhere, you've gone into Vietnam. And there's like thatch huts on fire, and like there's like people screaming. It's like up in the background, and the ambiance and like the horrors of everything that's happening around you. That was actually an Abby part. Shock horror was my favorite part of the whole game. So I actually kind of I warmed to Abby a bit. I won't lie. I know people can get freaking hung for saying that these days, apparently on the internet, because people do despise her as well. But I don't know. I guess what got me as well is that's one of those games that has what feels like an ending, and then it goes on for another 5 hours. There was a bit where it's like, oh my God, this is still going. But then it does a second actual ending, and then it gets interesting again. But there's this little bit of I don't necessarily think this needs to be here. I think you could have taken this out and given me back 4 hours of my life. But on the whole, I think it was a memorable game. And it's like a weird fine wine that the more I think about it and the more I sit on it, I actually enjoy it more thinking back at it retrospectively.
Yeah. So it deserves top for the community.
I know actually says the same thing about how the lot further goes on, the more he likes it.
I've heard that as well of a lot of people.
The one thing that I'd like to mention on this is the strides it took in accessibility for people to play this game.
Yes.
Like, I think this is a fantastic direction this game. It should be going to include as many people as possible. Like, I've seen so many messages online of people being so grateful that they could play this game and experience it so well. And I think this is something that should be taken away from this game and implemented in games going forward.
What are you referring to, Pat?
It's like for like colorblind and everything. I'm not too up to date on it, but like it has all these features to help people out who might have certain disabilities in order to proceed through the game more smoothly and experience it like a normal person would be.
I didn't know that.
It's got like Ronan. It's got like a million of them. Like there's even a way that you can play it where it's just colors and wireframes. If you want to, if you're that kind of way visually impaired, it has an unseen version of accessibility options ever in a game, and I do agree. I think
that's amazing. Thank you for bringing that up, Pat. That's amazing.
That does need to be commended.
I want some celebrations.
I've got some miniature heroes of that.
Right behind Aidan there, looking at me the whole podcast.
It
might make it easier if you know there's actually no celebrations. And
2 boxes empty.
One of them has leads in it.
Even the bounties are eaten.
Yeah, even the bounties. That's bad.
Dirtbag.
Chocolates are a lie.
Now we're gonna do our top.
Yeah, so we're gonna do our top game of the year is what I meant to say. And we have picked 2 games each, and what I think we will go and start with Paddy, and we'll do a round table, and we'll do one game, talk a little bit about that, and then move on to the next person.
I think this podcast last year I said that I play more games.
You
I remember
did.
I
That
did.
was
I
one of your
remember saying-
resolutions.
I said I play it, and I did not stick to that resolution. So
the evidence has determined that was a lie.
it was a complete lie. And the problem is that everyone's recorded.
We have the clip here. Let me bring it up.
Probably is. Oh, no. And I did say it, but to be fair, there wasn't that many games that really interested me this year that came out. Again, I was looking forward to Last of Us 2. Again, afraid to play it because I don't want to ruin it for myself. Last of Us 1 was so good. What did I pick? I played Tony Hawk's came out. I did enjoy it for a while. It came out. I got sick of it, but it was a good game. I love the soundtrack. Did you all play it as well? Aiden played it, I know that.
Yep.
And John played it for a bit.
For an hour.
An hour. But we should have tried it online together.
We should have, yeah, we definitely should have.
I was shocked that it didn't end up being a big thing in the community.
I think, do you know, like when you start playing the older games, the controls are still clunky. Some things don't adapt well or something. I think when you go back to it, it's a very hard game. Did you just play it and try and beat some of the stuff? Horrible hard.
Is it a problem that kind of Skate evolved the skateboarding genre?
I actually haven't played Skate. That's
Skate's, yeah, brilliant.
They're two very different beasts.
Do you know what I loved? Tony Hawk's Underground. Did you ever play that?
Yeah,
brilliant game. That's a brilliant game. Pure storyline. Very good game.
I've played basically every main line Tony Hawk's game.
Pretty much. What happened to me with... Sorry, Paddy.
Yeah, go on, no.
So I was going to say just real quick, what happened to me with it, and again, this is just me and probably my own personal experience, was that nostalgia was a lot higher than me actually wanting to play the game. And when I finally downloaded the game and I played it, and I was like, oh yeah, Tony Hawk, I remember this. And then I was like, anyway, what else is...
I put 1,000 hours into this game already.
They do. I think that problem, that's what we all do. It's in like, in South Park, they go, remember?
Yeah.
Remember?
We all do it with nostalgia because we remember our childhood and we remember playing these games and having such a good time with them. And then when they come out again, it's like, yeah, I want to get back to that place. And then you put it on and you play it for a while and you're like, yeah, we was good then.
Yeah,
it was
a different
good
human
then.
being.
Yeah, and it was enjoyable. But back that game was huge, and because skateboarding was huge, and we were into it, and it was brilliant. But I did play it for a while. I enjoyed it. But what happened was I got aggravated with it because it was so hard to do certain things, like collecting skate or something, and you have to try and fly up a ramp and try and do a massive flip and try and get it, and it's nearly impossible to do it. And that's kind of what happened over time. But for what it was developed nicely, and I didn't. Did it kick? I don't think many people are playing it now, are they?
Oh, I think
so.
Again, I haven't been looking it up, but I don't think so.
No, it's like Tony Hawk's tried to make a little bit of more comeback, and it just didn't happen.
I'd say I made a lot of money off it. I'd say a lot of people did buy it.
It sold incredibly well, and a lot of people played it
100%.
for the first couple of weeks. I still think that they're going to release 3 and 4 as DLC.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing a game like maybe I'll try Skate or something with a bit. Does Skate have a storyline, or is it just?
Yeah, it does.
It does have a storyline. That's like that.
Skate 3 is on. I don't know if you have an Xbox there, Skate 3 is on Game Pass.
Skate 3 is
like
brilliant.
That is
It's
interesting.
an amazing game.
The thing is, like with me with gaming this year, if we go back to what I enjoy playing and what I loved, it didn't come out in 2020. Like it was like Tarkov was probably what I played the most.
Yeah.
This year because I love the game. It's very detailed, and it's incredibly getting developed every time. The developing team are brilliant. The game is so detailed. You don't understand unless you play the game. Do you know what I mean? How much detail they go into that game, and it's amazing. But the only other game that I can really mention is Cyberpunk. I've really enjoyed Cyberpunk so far. I'm enjoying the gameplay. I enjoyed the storyline. I think it's going to be, if it came out next year, it would be Game of the Year. If it came out in a good form, it'd be Game of the Year this year. I honestly do believe that. If it came out like a month ago and was, not a glitchy mess, I think it would be Game of the Year for a lot of people. That's really it for me. The only thing I can say is I'm off Fortnite this year. That's a big thing. compared to last year, that's all I was playing.
Kratos will bring it back.
I'm going to go next, and I'm going to pick a game as well. It's a remaster or a remake, whatever way you want to look at it. The game is called Black Mesa. It was in development like a long time. So for anyone that doesn't know, it is the original Half-Life game remastered, and the original Half-Life. It came out this year. It had a kind of an interesting development. So Crowbar Collection, an indie team, started developing.
That name.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So they started developing this game in 2012, and they spent so much time, redesigning all the characters, voice actors. They did an amazing job. So good that actually Valve approved it for commercial use. So then what happened was they actually got to sell it on Steam, which is just an amazing thing to happen for a small developer company that put so much work into the game. I played it and I was a little bit worried because Half-Life for me, it defined FPS genre. Like it was the first game that I played that I went, what is this? Like it was kind of like Metal Gear Solid, like playing Metal Gear Solid for the first time. You knew this was just something different and something brilliant. And I played the remake. I played it last year. Now I know we're doing Game of the Year 2020, but it was actually released this year in March as an official release. But I played it in early access, and I played it from start to finish. I streamed it. I had the best fun. It reminded me of the old days, and I know you kind of alluded to playing games. Sometimes nostalgia can be the power of that, and when you play it, it doesn't really have the same effect. Two games that I did have that effect were Half-Life and the remake of Resident Evil 2. Those two games as remakes are just, they bring me back and they add a little bit to it. So a lot of the characters in Black Mesa, they added voice acting, script, which was never heard before, from the same guys from the original game. They got them in to do added script, added voice acting. And it just added to the whole experience. If anyone loved the original Half-Life, please go out and support these guys. It is an amazing game. And yeah, that's
the original lead developer says there's no point playing the original anymore.
Yeah. They really backed it. Like
just where you're on when you brought it up, one of the biggest disappointments of the year has to be Resident Evil 3. That did not hit off.
I never played that. I actually played the demo and I didn't like what I played.
Some people are so disappointed in it. Honest to God,
it was one of those things where I was hyped for it because Resident Evil 2 remake was great, but when I saw that, again, it was a full price game. When I saw that there were streamers clearing it in one stream in about 4 hours, I was like, oh well, I'm not paying 70 quid for this or whatever it was. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, and you're Nelly, like.
I always thought 2 was better than 3, even originally. Like
same.
Right, 3 was a worse game than 2.
It was more action based, and I didn't like that when I played. There was a lot of
originally. What are they called? The lads
Tyrants, Nemesis.
No, when you're going through a game really fast, what are they called?
Speedrunners.
A lot of speedrunners are disappointed in 3. They all went back to 2.
Yeah, because the 2 remake, like, again, I'm not a speedrunner, but the 2 remake apparently is fantastic for speedrunning.
Nice. Well, there's a big culture behind it now.
I do intend to get 3 when it's real cheap.
Same.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next Resident Evil game.
Yeah, Village.
And the remake of 4.
Yeah. Aidan, what is your a pick that you have?
I've already got to talk about both of my games in this list.
Okay, well, you just named them out. You don't have to allude to them too much.
Final Fantasy VII Remake and Hades were my top 2 games of the year.
Tetris.
I haven't played Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. It's just come out. I'm sure if I had, I would be changing my list.
Tune in next week where he changes his list.
I actually seen that there's like a Tetris game where I don't know what it's called, where they're dropping down and you have to build up to a line and you're playing against somebody. Did you see that?
Is that there's a co-op mode?
Yeah, you're both it's both same screen, and what you do is they're dropping down and you have to try and build your blocks up, and they can fall over and stuff like that.
You talked about that, didn't you?
Yeah, saw that on they did that on gamer mode, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what that's actually seen it on.
Yeah.
Thanks. Tetris Effect Connected, the new version for the Xbox Series S and X.
Pat, what is your 2 games?
We all know.
I guess start off with Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which brilliant fighting game. Developed by Arc System Works, so the same as behind Guilty Blue Blaze, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Brilliant fighting games, but I feel they're best in my opinion, simply on the basis that it's easy to get in, very easy to get in, and then sort of get a grasp of the controls over their other games that I've played. And because of that, when you went on, you didn't feel like you were too far behind someone when they started wailing on you, just completely destroying you. I felt like I could slowly make my way up to them when I give them a few matches, and it has been probably the most fun I've ever had online fighting in a game.
Must be very hard for you with your internet.
Yeah, because some days you want to play, and then with the internet being just so slow, you physically can't. And that's basically game out and
But
something
it makes
else
a big difference in fighting games, I'd say. Your internet
Oh,
makes it
definitely.
powerful.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, if I had a good internet, I'd
be
probably
the
just
best
be
in the world.
playing fight. No, never. I'd probably, just be playing them all day, every day for the rest of my life. But I don't, because my internet's fucking
You need to
shit.
start streaming then try to make some money if you're going to do that.
There you go.
But no, it's an incredible game. It has an interesting campaign where it's sort of a side-scrolling beat 'em up, which is just such a nice touch for a fighting game, because most fighting games are basically you do the fighting and it's basically like single player, just if you were fighting against a computer. But this, like, it has boss battles, it has loads of enemies to fight off, it has character fights as well. So it's a good mixture of things.
Like
And
Tekken
it's
Force
just
mode.
like Tekken Force, yeah, but not 3D, 2D completely.
Like that
And,
Mortal Kombat game when you play Sub-Zero. The adventure. Do you remember that
I
one?
can't think of that one. No.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Is that the one where it's like it's got awful for one thing, and is that
You
not
take
the
that
one-
back, John. Sub-Zero adventure mode was brilliant.
There's a new film coming out, isn't there?
It's the Deadly Alliance era.
It was
I
just
was a bit slagging online about it.
No,
it was the game. It was just Mortal Kombat with really cheap backgrounds, and you were just moving Sub-Zero.
Yeah, it was like a 2.5D like side scroller there.
I love 3D.
I think it was like a chipped PlayStation. I got that where this dodgy guy came in with a folder of games. You're just like, I'll take that one. It's got Sub-Zero on it.
Well, that was a real, and that was a dead ass real game.
I know it was a real game.
It's
Chipped
notoriously bad.
Chipped PlayStation games were real. You could get
That's
real
right.
games.
That's how I found Digimon World 1.
You can
Same
chip
thing.
PlayStation 4.
Jackie
especially now.
Chan Stunt Master was another one that I got out of that
Oh, yeah.
collection.
Jackie Chan. Dump Masters.
Good game.
It was a good game.
Yeah. And Toy Story 2 as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Toy Story
that was a great platformer.
difficult.
Yeah.
Difficult game.
Rugrats Revenge of Reptar. Whatever
Oh,
it was called.
yes.
Not Revenge of Reptar, whatever it was called.
Aladdin.
Remember how good the PS1
Aladdin.
was?
Oh,
Aladdin
PS1
was
was
class.
brilliant, man.
PS1 was class.
Like even its graphics, like it
Yeah,
Like
just
no
but
holds
lie,
so
a
much
guy
charm.
came into my house, chipped my PlayStation, and then opened a folder, and I think the games were like €1. And I was like 12. I was like, what is going on here? We've got loads of games, and a lot of them now were
That was
fairly,
mad back then when you could
fairly
chip every-
dodgy.
Ronan, I
Marvel-
literally have an uncle. I think I mentioned this last week. I have an uncle who, back when I was younger, was famous because number one, for some reason, he always dressed up as a cowboy. He's like leather hat, leather.
Because he was a cowboy.
everything. And he was a cowboy, legitimately in
Cowboys, Ted.
business. And he used to he used to drive around Thurles and drive around to people's house with a boot filled with pirate DVDs and games and stuff, and be like. He'd rent them. Like, I'll be back next week. €3 for that.
You may call him a cowboy. I call him an entrepreneur.
He's my uncle.
He's now a millionaire.
Whoa, baby!
He's now living in Hollywood.
Just so
like-
you know, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero.
Is that the name of it?
That's the name of it.
Yeah.
It's a classic, guys. Go out and get it.
Notoriously great.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually used to sell copy
Republic of Players
CDs when I was in
approved.
school.
Yeah, I did that as well.
Pat has another one.
What's your second game, Pat? If you're can unfreeze yourself.
Let's see. My second game, and probably the game that is my game of the year by miles, county
County
miles.
miles.
40 miles.
20 mile.
Interstellar Miles. It's Persona 5 Royale.
movie.
And
I thought it was a game.
I was
Interstellar.
like, there's a
Good
game
name.
of Interstellar. Where can I sign up?
no, but Persona 5 Royale, man. That game, that
Is that another fighting game?
I don't-
Pat?
no, it's
No.
RPG. So it
I think,
is
are you joking or
JRPG.
messing?
But Persona 5 Royale it's basically Persona 5, but with more content and actually making the game just feel so much better to play. And my God, did it just consume? No game has ever taken
Stole
over
your
my
internet.
quite like Persona 5 Royale. Like once I started, that was it for that week for over 150 hours, which like literally leaves maybe like 20 or 40 hours to myself for maybe sleeping.
That's some pause, Pat.
That's
oh
man,
it's moved.
literally, it's such an incredible game. Like I've connected with those characters so much, and I think it was because of COVID to a certain extent. I wasn't able to see my friends, and I saw some of my friends in the characters they had in the game, and being able to connect through them and actually be able to play alongside characters that represent parts of my friends was just such a great experience. Because I'll admit, I felt super fucking lonely during COVID. I was just in my room all the time, just playing video games.
You're not the only one, Pat.
And this was the first game that I felt like I'm escaping. This is me starting to reconnect with people to a certain extent. And my God, it's just, even without that, like, it's just such a great game. And I physically, I don't think I'll ever be able to say how I truly feel about that game. I don't think there's words out there that can tell.
It's good that you can connect to
how the game is that.
I've done that. I've definitely connected to games like that as well.
It's just,
I think that's a great shout, Pat, because not only did you kind of refer to your experience with, you know, what was going on in the real world, but your connection with the game. I've had times, like I talked about Dark Souls, where going through some troubles, and that game really took me away. So I think definitely games, they do give you that outlet. And I played Persona 4 Golden, and I adored that game. So I can only imagine what Persona 5 is. A lot of people love that game, even more than 4.
Number 3.
Royale is like Persona 4 Golden. It's the Persona 4 Golden of Persona 5, basically.
An extra 4,000 hours of game.
It's so much more accessible.
I got 50 extra hours out of it just from doing the single player once, but then I went back and continued to play, and it's
again,
it's such an incredible. I actually went through the whole story again just to get footage, but at the same time I still thoroughly enjoyed it, and like everything about it, like the mythology behind the personas and everything, and it's just so bloody good.
And just, I suppose, just to end, Pat, I do want to say, like, and this kind of goes for everyone here, if anyone's ever feeling lonely, you do know you can kind of give any of us a shout, like, and that's even
100%.
community members. Like, if you ever are at home and you know that you're feeling like that, just give us a shout and we can give you a call, have a chat, and maybe jump on for a game or two.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
Well,
I
when
also
internet works, I'll jump on with
5.
games.
Yeah. We'll stick out the crappy internet, Pat, for you.
Yeah, just about.
John Fogarty, thanks for that, Pat. John Fogarty, what is your 2 games?
Well, kind of the same as Aiden for 1. I went on my little rant about The Last of Us Part 2 there. That was probably my second favorite game of the year. Yeah. It's debatable because I haven't played too many games that come out in 2020. I don't think I've played enough of Cyberpunk 2077 to put it there. And also I've had a few bugs with it, but I think when I'm finished that game, I may prefer it to The Last of Us Part 2. And I never played Hades.
Take
and
Last of
Hades
Us off the list. Go on.
No, Hades is probably I'm probably going to really enjoy Hades when I do play it. But The Last of Us Part 2, I did enjoy it. I very much enjoyed it. It had its moments where I was like hitting my head against the wall. I'll admit that. I've said this on the podcast before, but it was never gameplay related. It was always something. I won't even say storyline related. I think it's pacing related. It's more like this could have been moved here, even structure. Because as I was saying, just the whole fact that you have to go over the fact that that's another 10 hours of going back over the events from someone else's perspective, where they've left you on this cliffhanger. I get what they're doing, but at the same time, it actually, when you got back to that point, it had lost some of its it's like, that was 10 hours ago, that was 12 hours ago. Now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm back here now. So I think it was, some of the bits were structured poorly, and they made a few weird choices that I didn't hate, but I was kind of like, okay. But that's not about Last of Us 2. I've talked about Last of Us 2.
I think pacing is definitely something that is an issue in the video game industry anyway, isn't it? Because it's very difficult to, I'd say, be in a studio and say, right, this is the way the story is going to play out, and not kind of involve side quests or different things to do and different things that can break up the story. I'm sure it's probably one of the most difficult aspects of game design.
It's probably because a lot of people do give out if it's not long enough, and then other people give out that it's too long. It's very hard. It's very hard to find that balance of, you're paying 70 quid for a game, you want it to be long, and then you don't when you're playing it, then it's too long.
We've went too far in one direction. I think it's time to start reducing the length of games.
Add more quality and less
filler. Less filler.
Definitely.
That's definitely it. Like
Yeah.
I'd much rather just get through the story and enjoy it and have a good storyline instead of like bringing you off in different directions.
We're coming near the end of the show, guys. So if you do have any questions, I know there's a couple of comments in there. Just drop them below and we'll go through them before we end the show. The last game that I want to talk about, we've played it kind of. I started getting into it in 2019 and played it the whole way through. Trop has put on some amazing competitions, and that's the F1 2020 game. I honestly wasn't into F1 8 months ago, and due to what we've had this year, F1 was actually something that gave me something to do. I bought F1 2019. Paddy was setting up a Trop Championship F1 series, and I got it for like literally the Friday before Paddy started the tournament.
Yeah,
I jumped in and I just felt myself getting better and better and better. And what I love about the F1 games, it's so much precision based, and I feel like every second you give to that game, it gives something back to you. You're always searching for, and it kind of relates to the real life F1. I've got into that an awful lot too as well, from the game and from the Drive to Survive series on Netflix. If anyone's looking for a good sports series, that's the best one out there. For me, it's hands down just amazing. The filmography in it is just top notch, and you get to know the drivers, and it really is a fantastic sport. A lot of controversy as well, which makes it interesting. But the game itself, 19 was very good, and I think 2020 improved what 19 was. It didn't change the game all that much. It just, with a game like that, because it's so much precision based, any little change in the game makes a big difference, and they did refine it a lot in 2020, and it's a game that I've probably put the most amount of hours in terms of just coming home, play for an hour, time trial, get used to track, and then go and play a competition like the Trop Championships. I hope we're going to start one of them in the
we'll do
new year when we get
sure.
So there's a lot of fans of the sport and of that game.
You'll be back with a vengeance, trying to get a podium position this time.
What's that?
You'll be back with a vengeance.
He did get a podium a couple times.
A couple of times, yeah. I got 3 thirds, I think. But yeah, it's I will be going and pushing for a win on it this year, because I put so much, or next year, because I put so much time into it. It's an amazing game. The community is really good as well when you can get a good group of guys like we did with the Republica players, and the fact that there's so much on the line, and one little tip could ruin your race.
It's just very competitive game. It's very good.
Very competitive.
To be honest, like I wouldn't be the biggest F1 fan, so I was kind of learning along as he's playing, and Mark is very, very, very knowledgeable on it, so it was good to have him. But it was good to see. It was actually very realistic the way it was going, because the choices of your tires made such a big difference in the game. Yeah. What time you put them on it, or what time you changed them, what time anyone did anything, and you've seen the strategy coming out from boys that were really used to the game. Yeah. And it made such a difference. And it's very good. And we're going to do custom setups, I think, for the next one. So it's going to be, people are going to be able to do different things, and different people are going to win. But I agree, it is a very good game.
It's it's
very
amazing.
Competitive game.
I definitely think it deserves a shout, and it's fitting because EA are now buying over Codemasters, who have developed the F1 series for many years, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. I am hoping for not too much changes apart from some nicer graphics, which it doesn't even need, but with EA.
Do you know what I would love a PC version of it, maybe, that when I'm broadcasting it, that I could have stuff on a different screen that I could watch. I know it's a bit much, but
I totally get that, like a director kind of screen.
Yeah, if you were a director, you could see nearly everybody and go to somebody when you wanted. I know that'd be very hard to do, but it'd be class if you could.
They actually have that system in other esport racing games. Yeah.
And and CS:GO or CS, any of those ones. Like if you ever watch a tournament. Yeah, if you ever watch a tournament, like they have all these different things for a commentary, and you can have like that's how they do tournaments. You can see the outlines of players through walls and stuff. So you can see where everybody is, and they've some great ones. Yeah.
Like Call of Duty and stuff does that as well, and I just love it on 2 screens instead of 1, because a lot of the time I'd miss things.
Yeah,
and then
it's difficult because you're flicking through the drivers and. Yeah. But,
I
think you did a great job. Yourself and Mark did a fantastic job.
I'll be looking forward to it. Yeah. Like if we come back streaming and stuff, it will probably just be for esports and stuff like that.
Nice.
If we do it. I love doing it, to be fair.
The community. We've got a couple of questions in the community. So
Rona, can I?
Yeah,
just
John.
Very
Yeah.
quickly. Can I talk about my game of the year?
I thought you had it too.
No,
Apologies.
no,
I thought you said
no.
Final Fantasy and The Last of Us.
Don't worry, Ronan. You're not the only. No, I didn't say Final Fantasy. God, I didn't even play that.
Oh, did you not? Sorry. I picked it up wrong.
No. Don't worry, Ronan. You're not the only one. I have to mention it because nobody picked it. Nobody voted. Nobody nominated it. Nobody wanted it. Spelunky 2. If you want to, we're talking about games that games are getting too long, and you just have these open world games that you just have to do a million side quests. And this game is just a game. It's like freaking. It's a roguelike that you basically have to get through all these different rooms, levels, and you have to avoid the enemies and do a bit of platforming. And there's like a million billion secrets. And I found the second secret door that brings you to hell, and then then you go down here and. You do this. It's like the Binding of Isaac. All these games have like a million secrets in them that you would never know unless you play the game like a million times. And it's one of those games. It's the most fun I've had playing a game this year. 100%.
Nice.
It's also one of the most difficult games I've ever played. Like legitimately, it might be the hardest game I've ever played. Like it's the kind of game that you will die probably about 50 times before you even start getting the hang of it. It's just like, it's really unrelenting. It has this weird physics engine where like every time there's no invincibility frames. There's no such thing as I got hit and I am invincible for a few seconds. You can like fall off a pit and while you're falling, you can drop the thing you're holding. That can fall on your head, take another heart off you. You can roll off and then you can fall into spikes and die. Like it's the most unforgiving hard, brilliantly fun game I've played in a long while. And again, it's completely up my alley. It's roguelike. You play it over and over again. You're trying to get all the secrets. You're trying to find everything. What's a little unique about it is that you're not progressively making yourself better. You're as powerful on your very first run as you will be on your last run. It's you start off, everything is unlocked. You just need to find everything. You start off every map with 4 hearts, and it's like Mario. It's a platformer version of a roguelike. And you if you were lucky enough, you could like finish the game on your first run, because it's not like, oh well, I need to unlock the the trident of Habuba because I haven't unlocked that yet. No, everything is in the game from when you play, except for characters. You can, but the characters are only cosmetic. They don't have, no character has an advantage over another character. No, it's fantastic, a lot of fun, and I would recommend anybody to play it if you like platformers or roguelikes.
You cleared it yet, John?
Not fully. It's like the Binding of Isaac. Like
no, but even have you seen credits?
Yeah, I've seen credits, but I haven't done everything. I haven't done separate secret stuff. Yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for that. Some amazing games. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the community. There's a couple of comments here. Owen, Casey, I know you've been there since the start. You've been asking lots of questions, and we are going to read out. So is Cyberpunk as buggy as the way everyone on the internet is making it out to be? Seems like it is blown up and making me to hold off on getting it for now. What I will say is, yes, there is bugs in it. It is definitely better than it was at launch. But also, if you have a PS5 or next-gen console, there is an actual update for next-gen coming March, is it, Aidan?
Yeah, it's sometime beginning of the first quarter 2020.
It's a free update for the PS4 version. So what you could do is, if it goes on sale over the Christmas or in January sales, pick it up then for a little bit cheaper and then get your free upgrade. If anyone else wants to add to that, feel free.
Yeah, they're releasing smaller patches all the time. Even before the big main PS5 to Xbox One update Xbox, whatever it's called, Series X update. Like they are constantly now releasing patches. They did one the day after it came out that had a lot of issues for me on PC, and they said we're going to have another one in 7 days, and then they said they're going
people are really enjoying it, aren't they? Like, let's be honest, people are enjoying that game.
Yeah.
The initial kind of launch of it was a little bit ropey, but it happens.
If you're thinking about getting on PC, I think the first major patch in January is probably a really good place to jump on. That's most stuff will probably be sorted by then.
If you can wait. I'd agree with that, because it's only going to get less
CD
and less.
Projekt Red's post-release support is almost is otherworldly in a lot of ways. It's best than it. Like they completely rechanged movement engines in Witcher 3 and things like that.
Owen said he's going to wait for the PS5 update. That's a good idea. Who else? David Green says, what game he's looking forward to most for next year? Tarkov is not the answer. Tarkov is always the answer. Paddy, what are you looking forward to next year?
Tarkov hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, there you go.
True.
Still in beta.
Well, whatever year that comes out, that's definitely our game of the year.
Still in beta.
Well, if God of War comes out next year, that'll be what I'm looking forward to. Is it coming out next year, or is it
Likely.
2022?
Allegedly.
That's what I'd be going for. What else is coming out next year?
Brave Default 2 is my one.
Brave Default, good choice. Yeah, definitely.
Do I dare to dream, Ronan? Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's got to be my one anyway as well.
But I don't know. I don't think that's going to be out next year.
Yeah, there's not much talk of it, is there?
Literally none since the original trailer.
I am actually-
literally nothing.
JJR has stopped his writing. Like he's done. It's
Sure,
just the
yeah.
developers now doing the story. So
Yeah.
I'm dying for that God of War game. Dying for it. Can't wait to comes out.
I mean, there's a
I'm
couple of big ones coming out. There's the Harry Potter game. That's going to be an interesting.
looks
one.
good.
That looks
Onwards.
cool.
Yeah, that does look cool. I'm really interested, and I'd always say I'm more Lord of the Rings than Harry Potter, but I'd definely be interested in checking that out.
Wingardium Leviosa.
I'm very conflicted on this because there's so many games that I want next year. Like there's Persona 5 Strikers, which is a continuation of Persona, but also Ratchet and Clank Rifts
Oh, there you
Apart,
go.
which
Come on now.
I heard that's not coming out at all.
but then there's Guilty Gear, and I'm like,
Guilty Gear.
I just too many games, lads. Like I wanted to play so many more games this year, and
I want a remake of the Two Towers to come out.
Return of the King. You mean Return of the King?
Resident Evil Village
Return
is
of the
meant to
King,
be
yeah.
next year as well, Paddy.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil would be good. But like it honestly it's God of War for me. It has to come. It has to come. I can't wait for the Thor thing and to see the storyline, which way it's gonna go. Because the end of it, spoiler, but the end of it with Thor and it was unbelievable.
Awesome.
what if it's like The Last of Us for you, where like
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
think
gonna
I
play
don't
it
think
forward to
I don't think it's gonna be like that because it's God of War is very different. It's not as serious as The Last of Us. It wouldn't have that kind of storyline. It's very very good. That God of, let's just say it, God of War is brilliant. First one, that not the first one, but the latest God of War is unbelievable.
The old ones are pretty brilliant as well.
Yeah, they're brilliant as well. But just the way the way his character has developed into something different.
Yeah,
and the
they
way he
needed
was
to
with
kind
his
of
son.
change it up. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliantly done.
Aidan, what are you looking forward to next year?
Yeah, Brave Default 2 is the one that's in my head.
Oh yeah, Sorry, I'm losing my round table set up here. We need to all have a studio, guys. I need to be looking at you.
Yeah.
One day we'll have it.
Yeah, just live all over the
Please
country.
donate to buy and play.
We'll meet in Galway.
Yeah, exactly. Let me see. There is one more. Skulls says what about Days
good.
Gone? Thoughts on it? Yeah, we talked a lot about it at the start of the show. I love it. Really enjoyed it. We're really enjoying it at the moment, and very very much kind of engrossed in that game.
Days
How
Gone
do
is
you
great.
think the Metal Gear TV series will go? From David.
I thought it was a movie.
It's not a movie.
It was a movie, yeah.
It's a movie.
I'm going to wait.
I don't think the actor suits it. That's just me.
I
See how it
do,
goes.
Paddy. I do agree with you. Like, my that's my gut reaction as well. But there's been a lot of actors in roles where that's been said before. But I do agree with you. I'm not feeling
Just
it either.
based on the roles he's played before, he's very much your best friend kind of character, isn't he? He plays a lot of them kind of roles.
or an absolute maniac if you've seen Ex Machina, Ex
Machina.
Yeah.
What a movie.
I just don't. I know what happens a lot. People just get casted in that kind of frame, and it's very hard to see them in something else. But then exactly, they turn on you, and they're brilliant. It's happened like with the Joker. It's happened with.
You
like,
should watch
stuff like
Ex
that.
Machina if you haven't seen it. Paddy.
I don't know if I
It's
have watched. I
super
probably might have
interesting.
watched it. I might
It's
watch.
very good. But yeah, but Paddy,
Okay, good film.
I do
Yeah.
agree with you because my gut feeling is I was like as well. So I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's hard to know. You don't know until you
Exactly.
see it again.
Guys-
but I'll definitely watch it.
That has been our Game of the Year Republic of Players podcast show. I had an absolute blast. I'm glad that
Yeah.
I want to just say, like, it's been a hell of a year. It's been a tough year for a lot of people. Games have really been, a lot of people's saving grace. I know for me, they were great through lockdown. Like, we had, a lot of games to play. Now we have the new consoles, and it's been,
Had a good year though.
Yeah, not a good year. So I do want to wish everyone the best. I hope everyone, their expectations of Christmas is, it's always high coming into the end of the year, but it's exceptionally high this year. And I do want to wish everyone, a safe holidays. I hope everyone gets to see all their family and friends and in as safe way as possible. And I want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart to the community. Just, it's been absolutely buzzing at the moment. It's a really nice place to be. Yes, there is some arguments and stuff going on, but hey, that's the way it goes.
That's what family does.
Exactly. That's what family does.
Exactly. We family.
So we do want to continue to do this into 2021. We're going to get to that 100 episode before too long. And yeah, without further ado, Aidan, where can the good folks find you?
Don't bother finding me. Go play Hades.
Oh, hey!
The PSA.
It's a new podcast. Sweet. John Fogarty, where can the good folks find you?
The good folks can find me at 20 for Gaming. That is TOOOLD for Gaming. They can find me over on YouTube and Twitch. I haven't been streaming. This elongated break has gotten sincerely long. But I am coming back. I'm actually coming back. No, I'm not retired. Actually, the complete opposite. I'm kind of deciding to take it easy. I might stream once or twice before the new year. But I actually have plans and things written down. And I have like a game plan going into the new year onwards. I'm switching up a lot of things and I'm doing a lot of things differently. One of the things I could talk about very quickly is Paddy's thing you've said to me like a million times. I don't listen. Is that I'm going to stream more and I'm going to release those streams like cut up but not really too edited on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to be recording the content while streaming, so I'm streaming, and then that's going to be going up my YouTube channel, which just makes sense. Yeah, exactly. So that's just, I'm recording while streaming, and then it's very little editing has to go into that. But I still will be doing the Among Us series. We're doing the Among Us series. That's going to be as edited the same way as it is now. It takes a long time to edit, but I enjoy doing them. There'll be another one coming up. I haven't even started it, so who knows? In the next few days, I'll probably start over the weekend. But yeah, YouTube, going to start doing stuff there too, a little bit differently, as I was saying. But yeah, if you want to catch me on the socials, it's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter on the exact same.
Looking forward to it, John. Can't wait to see that new content. Do head over and follow Too Old for Gaming on YouTube and all those platforms. Awesome content creator. Pat Curley, where can the good folks find you?
Well, they can find me over at Twitter, where I go by the handle of PatGoMad with a capital R at the end of it, which is just the capital R. There's the capital's not there in the name. Don't get that confused. But yeah, you can also find me here on the Republican Players YouTube. The reviews, sometimes skits, sometimes awful songs. You never know what's going to come from me. It could be anything. And thanks for trying to build up my self-esteem. And I'm also over on the community on Facebook, which I'll be around there. So you might find me there. You can comment at me and sure we can chat games.
Come at me, bro.
Mr. Paddy Toner, where can the good folks find you?
Well, a bit of a speech first. We've done Republic Players this year has done a good few things. We've accomplished a lot of stuff. We did a 24-hour stream where we got, it wasn't only $4,000, was it $4.5 grand or something like that? 3.5. What did we raise? 3.5, was there something like that?
I think we broke 4.
I thought it was 4. I don't remember. It's $4,000. It was around there, and we're very proud of that. We helped. We helped a lot of people, and then we did another charity event with RTE. We did a lot of things this year. I'm very proud of it. We're going to do more next year. Got quoted by Ubisoft. Going to bring that up.
Yeah, of course.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, Ronan fucking commentated with
Marty.
What's his name? Marty Morrissey.
That was unbelievable, actually.
Oh, that was fantastic. I forgot about that. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was good.
Hey, Ubisoft. Hey.
No, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
The FIFA tournament.
Yeah, the FIFA tournament. They said it again.
He's like, no, me.
No, me.
Oh, sorry.
No, but it's been a great year. Brian Plays kick it off as well. It's just been a good year. I know it's been a bad year for everyone, I understand, but it's been a good year for like different things. For digital world, and we've come up a good bit, and things are developing, and I'm very proud of it. And I'm proud of the boys here. We're up 81 episodes. Like looking back, even on the if you look down, and it's like going back to episode 1 or 13 and stuff like that. It's just
my name is Ronan. This is the boy. I can only imagine what that first episode is like.
There's stuff like that there, but it's been really good. 81 episodes is a lot, and we're doing a lot of good things. I know we slowed down a little bit in content and stuff like that, but we're going to keep going. We're going to get known. This is like how many years now? 3 years. It's a long time, Ron. It's
a long time. We keep it going, though, dude. We'll keep it going. Like we always say, we'll keep the ship afloat. And good things are coming, good things will come. So we'll keep it going.
Yeah, we're going to take about 2 weeks break, and we're going to
Yeah.
come back strong again, and we're going to develop the stream team this year. We're going to go another way with content and try our best to keep going and we're getting pretty well known in Ireland.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with that, and we'll keep going. I'm very happy with. Thanks so much for turning up every week and putting up with the shit. And we'll be back next year. If you can find me anywhere you see the Republic of Players, find me anywhere you see Buy and Play. It's been a good year. I've enjoyed
Awesome, dude. Thank you, Paddy.
Also next year, Paddy will get a shock mount.
it. Yeah, probably. Maybe.
He's just proud. He's hitting it out of proud.
I'm very fidgety person.
It's like Dave Chappelle. Did you ever see Dave Chappelle do stand up, and every time he makes a joke, he hits the mic off his leg.
Mike. Maybe.
Guys, it has been a brilliant year. Just to repeat what Paddy said, it's, Republic of Players continues to grow in the right direction. I see everyone on this podcast as truly a great friend of mine. I can, call you up and talk about video games, and we do this every week, and we will continue to do it every week after the holidays. We're going to be taking a break from the podcast next Thursday, and we'll come back stronger and better than ever in the new year. We hope the new year brings happiness, a lot of healthy, living, and no COVID. Yeah, COVID's gone. We'll have a big party when it's gone.
Or at least some COVID, just not as much.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the holidays. I can't wait to just relax. It has been a tough year, and just wishing everyone happy Christmas, and we will see you all in the new year. And just catch me over on the Alpha Fox Twitch channel. I'm not streaming as much there at the moment, but I will be over the Christmas, so it'll be great to talk to you guys over there. And of course, the Republic of Players community. And do head over. There is a PS5 on Buy and Play now, ready to be raffled off. I'm going to be putting my name in the hat, I think, for that one. And yeah.
If you win it, I'm keeping it.
Yeah. I don't want you driving to my house anyway, whatever you do.
You don't really live in Mullingar, you liar. Jesus, so heavy.
It is.
That's what she said.
Giggity.
Guys, thank you so much. Have a safe night, and we will chat to you very soon. This has been Republic of Players episode 81.
81. Yeah.
And we are out.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
And New Year.
And a new year.